Today's conversations will challenge us to think bigger, lead stronger, and pursue our goals with greater confidence.
Our hope is that you leave today with more than notes.
Progress has always been driven by courageous people willing to stand together.
We are not a footnote in someone else's stories. You are the headline.
In 2021, I didn't realize that my own city did not have a commission for women. And so I made sure that I sponsored an ordinance, and with the support of my colleagues, in 2021, I think it was 97 years of North Miami existence, we finally had a women commission. And so I'm very...
And if you do it knowing that there is another side to the story, you have to be willing to listen to. So your voice matters, but so does someone else's.
We know that women have always led. Sometimes they've led from behind. They say behind every powerful man, there's a powerful woman, right? That's an expression we've all heard. Well, you know what, ladies? We don't have to hide anymore.
We educate. We pour into one another. We encourage. We empower one another. We support one another.
And if you learn how to show up for yourself,
Amen.
confident, resolute, and positioned to get it done, that will literally set the stage for every other woman, boy, child, man that you will come in contact with that would need you to fight for them. Start with yourself first.
You know, you decide how you want to show up. And I mean, you show up that same way, with that same intensity, that same intentionality every day. You have to decide how you're going to show up each and every day. Be your best self, your best authentic self, each and every day.
I feel a lot of love in this room. Love of expression, love of reaffirmation of who we are as individuals and as collective impact instigators.
Everything we can dream, we can become, as long as we work hard and persevere and ask for God's help.
But I would tell her, you know, it works out. Keep the course. Keep working hard. The money's going to come. The roles are going to come. The positions are going to come. The acknowledgments are going to come.
Because when women are empowered, communities thrive, families flourish, businesses grow.
Some of the most beautiful initiatives I have been fortunate to be a part of were not built on grand budgets or even grand resources. They were built by women sitting around a table, talking about problems, sharing stories, figuring out their resources, opening doors for one another, and asking one simple question: how can we?
Bonsoir, spectateurs, tout le monde, et bienvenue dans Assoya, dans deuxième soirée sous forum candidat Haitien-Américain pour l'année 2026 là. Moi-même, c'est avocat Ronald Surin. C'est un plaisir pour me gagner avec Assoya, Dr. Naomi Blemire, comme modérateur pour le programme ça. Forum Assoya, c'est organisé par BL Consulting et le voit en direct pour nous dans la télévision, Télépam, sous channel 10 et 18. Les concerts tout n'a venu sur Facebook avec Wocus Télévision. À soir, nous prenons attendre plusieurs candidats dans la branche judiciaire là, pour county avec circuit judge. Et candidat ça yo, y a cherché représenter judiciaire là. Comme ça tout, nous prenons des candidats qui cherché représenter dans le Congrès 24e district pour Floride là, comme membre dans le Parlement américain, ça nous le House of Representatives là. C'est une occasion qui rare le fait que nous gagnons Congresswoman Frederica Wilson qui n'a cherché ça pendant des années et qui a milité dans la politique là bien longtemps, mais qui finalement prend retirement li, c'est-à-dire prend pension dans la politique. À ce moment, nous avons avec nous plusieurs candidats qui a bataille pour position ça. Nous joignons avec nous tous candidats ça yo, et nous disons bienvenue. Docteur Blému, on commence soirée.
Merci beaucoup, M. Surin. C'est vraiment un plaisir pour moi entrer la caille et tout le monde qui est branché sur Télépam, our #1 TV pour connaître. Donc, à souhait, nous voulons dire tout le monde merci et nous vraiment apprécier que vous branchez sur Télépam à souhait et pour quitter moi-même avec M. Surin entrer la caille. On the behalf of BL Consulting, we thank you for joining us for this important conversation. Since our establishment in 2018, BL Consulting, headquartered in North Miami, has been committed to strengthening our communities by providing professional consulting services in the areas of business, government, and politics. We proudly partner with organizations, elected officials, candidates, and community leaders to help build stronger institutions and more engaged communities. À souhait, son plaisir pour nous entrer la caille nous. Nous là pour nous informer, engager, and become empowered voters, choosing the individuals that are going to represent us on the bench as well as in Congress. Monsieur, on nous commence.
Très bien.
Our first candidate for tonight is none other than Maribel Diaz. Si nous mettez Attorney Diaz. Hello, Attorney Diaz. How are you today?
Hello. Thank you for having me on the show.
Wonderful, wonderful. Attorney Diaz is a 53-year Miami-Dade resident and the first in her family to earn a college degree. She works as an attorney with the Miami-Dade County Tax Collector's Office and is running for county judge. She has more than 17 years of diverse legal experience serving clients throughout the state of Florida. She has extensive courtroom experience in both private practice and public sector, committed to community leadership, organizing annual toy drives that brings joy to children in foster care. Attorney Diaz, welcome.
Thank you.
At this time, we're going Attorney Diaz, at this time you have 2 minutes for opening remarks.
So my name is Maribel Diaz. I am in group 25. I've been an attorney for over 17 years. I've practiced throughout the whole state of Florida, civil litigation matters. I am a daughter of Cuban immigrants. My father was a car salesman and my mother was a secretary. I earned a bachelor's degree, graduating with honors in accounting while I worked 2 jobs to accomplish that. I then after went to law school and obtained my law degree, and I've been practicing for over 17 years. And it's been my lifelong dream since the age of 6 to become a judge. And I have registered as a candidate for the first time ever to run as a county court judge to establish my dream.
Thank you so very much, Attorney Diaz. For those who are hearing from you for the very first time, tell us a little bit about yourself outside of campaigning to become our judge.
Well, I work full time. I started this campaign with my mom, and she recently passed. and I'm ending this campaign without her. It's been extremely difficult for the family, but I promised that I would continue this campaign until the end. I own an 11-year-old Maltese. I love animals, and she is my life, my little 11-year-old Maltese. I have a sister, and I have family. So right now it's just her and I, and this campaign that we're excited will be continuing for the next 2 weeks. I have the community which that I've come across during this campaign that I've been blessed to meet many wonderful people that have opened their hearts to me and have supported my campaign. I have many friends that have said, we're going to continue even though you've had this terrible thing happen, and we're with you until the end. And that's basically made me very strong to continue this journey that I have long waited for since the age of 6. So I'm actually very blessed to have continued this for the next 2 weeks.
Thank you so very much, and our deepest condolences to you and your entire family. We truly appreciate your sacrifice at this time. You actually went into a little bit into our next question, so we're just going to go right into it. Why are you running for judge?
Hello? Just
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Excellent. Our deepest condolences to you and your entire family. We thank you for your sacrifice at this time. You actually went into our second question, so we're going to go into the third one. Tell us, why are you running for judge?
I want to serve our community. It sounds old, but that is what my dream has been since the age of 6. I actually waited all this time because I wanted to gain sufficient experience that could benefit our community. I've worked in law firms where I've had a high volume of cases. And the reason why I picked county court, it's because it's the people's court. Many people come unrepresented to county court. And the judge's job is to hear the facts and apply the law as it is written. And county court gives me the opportunity to listen to people, even if they come in unrepresented, right? So it gives me the opportunity to listen to their stories, to apply the law, and to serve our community with the experience that I have. I believe that it would actually benefit the community. My service would benefit the community. I would love to make it easier for people to come before a judge. Coming before a judge is pretty scary, right? You see a person in the black robe and you say, oh my goodness, I'm going to court. And most of the people that come before county court have come into the judicial process for the first time. And it shouldn't be a scary thing, right? So I want people to feel comfortable coming to court, telling the story, be heard, and feel that even if they don't agree with my decision, feel that they have been heard by a judge and that the decision has been made, whether it benefits them or not. So I want to serve our community in that sense. And I've waited all this time to gain the experience sufficient to be a good judge and to listen and to apply justice with integrity. I come from a humble family, a hardworking family, and it's taken me a very long time to get to where I am today. And I hope that this race is, will benefit the community at the end of the day. And I've come across many good people doing this campaign. So I've been blessed.
Thank you so very much. We have 2 more questions for you at 1 minute each. Metsue?
Good evening, Counsel Diaz. As a practicing attorney, I'm glad you stated that you want people to be comfortable. Now I have questions for you. Our judicial system serves people from every social, economic background, including first-generation Americans, immigrants, individuals with limited financial resources. what specific courtroom practices or leadership principle would you implement to ensure that every litigant experience equal just access to justice, procedural fairness, and confidence in the integrity of the court?
A judge's job is to apply the law as written for everyone, no matter where they come from, what background they have, or who they are. So it doesn't matter to me. I doesn't matter where you come from. The law will be applied as it is written and according to what the facts and the evidence presented. Now, I want to give the citizens an opportunity to come before the court and for it not to take so long. And I'm willing to have additional time in the court, open up additional hearings. If I have to go ahead and make longer days, and that's what needs to be done, to be able to run these cases, not for it to take so long for the cases to be heard, because sometimes the dockets are full, especially in county court. It's a high volume court, and this is why I chose this county court, because it's high volume, and I am practiced that for 17 years at a high volume, and I believe that my courtroom experience and the way that I conduct my cases will give litigants an opportunity to come before the court and not have to take so long to have that be done. So my courtroom practice is to give people the opportunity to be heard, no matter where they come from. It doesn't matter. They have the right to be heard and to have the law applied as written, and everyone will get an equal opportunity, and that's what it's about.
My last question to you.
Yes.
What do you believe is the greatest threat to public trust in our judicial system today? And how would your conduct on the bench have strengthened that trust?
Justice with integrity. It's what I have in my campaign. The public trust in the judicial system is extremely important to be impartial. I love to listen to people's stories, what the situation is, and decisions have to be made according to what the law and the facts are. I come from a humble, like I said before, I come from a humble background, and I love to listen to people's stories and give them an opportunity to be heard. And that is what is integrity and justice. Everyone has to have an equal opportunity, like I said before, no matter where they come from. And the trust in the judicial system is extremely important. And how do we maintain that? We maintain that by giving people an opportunity to be heard. Now, if the case is a little bit, if the subject matter is a little difficult and it needs to take a little longer than the rest of the cases, then that needs to be done. And there's ways to go about that, right? You can special set it. You can have them come in another day, or you can give it a little more time because they're already there. So people
I get
have
your
to
point
feel
that
that
you
they're
lead
heard.
with integrity.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
At this time, you will have 1 minute to tell us, the Haitian American community, why should we vote for you for judge?
Everyone opens up, well, I have the experience and I have the schooling, but I want to say this. Obviously, we all, people who run have the experience to be where they are today. But have the respect for people who come before the court. Be humble. Give them an opportunity to be heard. Give them an opportunity to express themselves. That is what it's about. It's not just about having the education. Obviously, I have the education. I have 2 degrees. I have a law degree. I have a accounting degree. I've practiced for 17 years. But being humble and respecting those who come before the court and give them the opportunity to be heard and explain why you're making a decision that you're making when when the people come before your court do not have an attorney. You can explain the reason why you made your decision. And I plan to do that if
Thank you
I'm
so very
selected
much.
for this position.
Please give us your website and your punch number.
My website is maribeldiazforjudge.com, and my punch number is 132.
Thank you so
132.
very much. We wish you all the best.
Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much to Attorney Maribel Diaz, running for Miami-Dade County Circuit Court Judge. At this time, we have our next candidate for judge, and that is going to be Mr. Arthur Marty McNeil. Please bring him up. Good afternoon, Mr. McNeil. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm doing well. How are you this evening?
We're doing great. We're doing great. Thank you so very much for joining us. And we see that you are on the campaign trail. So we are going to move very quickly. Arthur Marty McNeil's career has been about public service. For 19 years, he has litigated in the circuit court every day of the week at the constitutional rights of Floridians. He's seeking to become a judge to make sure liberty and justice for all is a reality for everyone. Also, we did find out that as an assistant public defender with 19 years of experience and more than 50 criminal jury trials, he is running for this open circuit court judge seat. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, and thank you for the opportunity to speak to your audience.
Excellent. So we're going to go right into it. I know that you have your spiel and you have your 2 and your 3 minutes. You know how candidates do. But tonight,
Yes.
tell us a little bit about Marty. Who is he? And what is he
Okay.
all about?
Well, Marty is the son of a U.S. Army veteran and an educator. I was raised in Fayetteville, North Carolina. But when I was a young child, my family took a trip to Miami for a cruise. We went on family vacation, and I fell in love with the community. I fell in love with the environment. And I said, as a child, when I grow up, this is where I'm going to live. Now, I know every parent in the room has heard their child say that at some point. But fortunately, I continued on with schooling, went to undergrad, went to law school. And when I graduated law school, God blessed me with a job in Miami, and began working at the public defender's office. Marty is fun. Marty is can be silly, and Marty has always been about public service and helping people. My father's love language was acts of service, and if my father was doing something, I was also doing it. So I got experience early on helping people and being a good servant for folks.
Thank you so very much for that, Attorney McNeil. We're going to turn you over to Metsuye, who's going to ask the question.
Okay.
Hey, good afternoon, Council.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. As a practicing attorney, we're concerned about our judicial system that serves people from every socio-economic background, including first-generation Americans, immigrants, and individuals with limited financial resources. What specific courtroom practices or leadership principles would you implement to ensure every litigant experiences equal access to justice, procedural fairness, and confidence in the integrity of the court?
Well, thank you for that question. There's a saying in the law that all stand equal under the law. And that's one of the things that I will make sure happens in my courtroom. Many times people may see things on TV, may see court cases where they feel like, well, this person has money, and because they have money, they're able to get this type of justice, whereas someone else that doesn't have money doesn't get that same justice. That's not something that I want to have happen in my courtroom. I want people to understand that when they come to court, they have a fair shake in court. They will get to argue their case. They'll get to litigate their case. They'll be heard, and the law will be applied evenly across the board to everyone.
To you. What do you believe are the greatest threats to public trust in our judicial system today? And how would your conduct on the bench strengthen that trust?
Well, my conduct on the bench will strengthen the public trust in the judiciary because, like I stated earlier, I intend to rule according to the law and to make sure that everyone has equal access to justice. I also am involved in the community. That's one of the things that I've been involved in. Like I said, since early childhood, my parents made sure that I was out helping people, help serving, help making sure that people had access and opportunity. When in my professional life, I volunteer in the community. In my personal life, I also volunteer in the community. There's a saying that, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that's something that I try to live by, to help make sure people know that I care about them and their situation, no matter what it is. We all come from different parts of the world in South Florida. We come from different socioeconomic statuses, but we're all humans. We're all the same children of God, and we all deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. So that's one of the things that I plan to do in the courtroom, is make sure to treat everyone with dignity and respect and let them know that they will have their chance in court.
Thank you, counsel.
At this time, we're going to give you 1 minute for closing remarks. Please share your punch number in your closing remark as well as your website.
Okay, thank you. So my hope, my prayer is that you will vote for me, Arthur Marty McNeil, for Circuit Court Judge. My punch number is 121. My website is mcneilforjudge.com. That's McNeilforjudge.com. I've been a public servant my entire legal career. I've been a volunteer and a member of the community. And I've been an attorney litigating in court. I've seen court. I've participated in court. I've run calendars. I've got the experience, and I've got the heart to serve the people. I want to be a judge for the people. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to you all tonight, and I hope everyone has a wonderful evening.
Thank you so very much, Attorney McNeil. It was a pleasure to have you, and we wish you all the best. At this time, we're going to move with our next and our final judge candidate for this evening, Attorney Yenli Dominguez. Welcome. Thank you, Attorney Dominguez. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Excellent. Thank you so very much. Attorney Yenli Dominguez is a candidate for Miami-Dade Circuit Court Judge committed to serving every person who enters the courtroom with fairness, patience, and respect. Her campaign is centered on judicial temperament, listening carefully, treating everyone with dignity, and applying the law impartially with integrity. She believes justice begins with a judge who is prepared, compassionate, and dedicated to ensuring every voice is heard. Yes. Attorney Dominguez, please tell us a little bit about Yenli outside of this campaign for judge.
First and foremost, thank you so much for having me. It's truly an honor to be here with you today. So a little bit about myself. Again, my name is Yenli Dominguez. I am a candidate for Miami-Dade Circuit Court Judge. I was born and raised here in Miami. to hardworking immigrant parents. My parents came here in 1980 from Cuba, and those humble beginnings really taught me the values of faith, integrity, hard work, and service. You know, Miami is such a diverse city, and it has diverse communities. And one thing that our backgrounds really share is the commitment to family, to faith, and creating a better future for our family in particular. You know, I'm running, like you said, I'm running because I believe that a judge's temperament is just as important as their legal knowledge. I'm a mom of a 3.5-year-old daughter. I'm a wife. My husband and I are expecting our second daughter now in October. And that's a little bit about me.
Much, and congratulations to you and your husband.
Thank you.
At this time, we're going to go over to Metsurin. That's going to ask you two additional questions at about a minute each question.
Okay.
Hey, good evening, Counsel Dominguez.
Good evening.
As a practicing attorney, I'm mindful that our judicial system serves people from every social economic background, including first-generation Americans, immigrants, and individuals with limited financial resources. My question to you, what specific courtroom practices or leadership principle would you implement to ensure that every litigant experiences equal access to justice, procedural fairness, and confidence in the integrity of the court?
So, as an attorney and a citizen, right, even me as personal before I became an attorney, I've seen firsthand how the legal system can impact families, businesses, individuals during some of the most difficult times in their lives. And I want to bring that patience, that integrity, that compassion to the bench while still faithfully applying the law and upholding the Florida Constitution. And how is that done? Well, by providing the people and the community the opportunity to be heard fairly and impartially. Doesn't matter who's coming into the courtroom. It does not matter who's in front of me. So what the point is that you have the evidence and you are heard, and I apply the law to those evidence that are before me. Now, what happens? Yes, there are litigants. At one point, before I was an attorney, I was had to represent myself in court, and it is very intimidating. But one of the important things is to also let the community know that there are resources for those that do not have the means to afford an attorney. I am an attorney right now. I have served in different organizations that provide pro bono services for those litigants that cannot afford an attorney. And so if there's a litigant there, you know, that's very important that that's representing themselves, that they know that they also have resources to help them with their case.
Thank you, counsel. Here's my second question to you. What do you believe are the greatest threats to public trust in our judicial system today? And how would your conduct on the bench have strengthened that trust?
And that's a wonderful question. So I'm running because I believe the way people are treated in the courtroom matters. In order to be a judge, and most people may or may not know, we're all attorneys. Current judges are attorneys. And so a judge's temperament, so we all have the experience, right? But a judge's temperament is just as important as our legal knowledge, as their legal knowledge. And every person that comes to a court or before the court really deserves to be heard, to be treated with respect, and to know that their case will be decided fairly and impartially, irrelevant or regardless of who they are or what financial status they are or anything of the sort. It's what's in front of, what evidence is in front of you, and applying the law. So that's the most important factor in a judge's duty and what the community deserves.
Thank you so very much, Attorney Dominguez. At this time, you have 1 minute to tell us why should we vote for you.
Again, thank you for the opportunity to be here today and to share my story with you and a little bit about my campaign. You know, I'm asking for the support because I believe Miami-Dade County deserves a judge who has the experience, integrity, and temperament to serve our community fairly. A courtroom is not just about law and cases, it's about people's lives, families, and our future. If elected, I will bring patience, respect, and commitment, and I'm committed to providing equal justice to all. And I would be honored to have your trust and your vote. My punch number is 130, and my website is dominguezforjudge.com. Again, Dominguez, my name is on the screen, my last name, dominguezforjudge.com, punch number 130.
Attorney Dominguez, it was a pleasure to having you. All the best.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Wonderful. We're going to move on to our next segment, which is our candidates for U.S. House of Representatives. And we have our very first candidate for this seat is none other than Mr. Kendrick Meek. Can we please bring him on?
Good evening. Thank you so
Good
much. Good
evening, Mr. Meek. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you? Hopefully there's
Excellent.
much background noise here.
I think you're good.
Thank you. Okay, great.
Excellent. It's a pleasure to have you. Mr. Kendrick Meek is a South Florida attorney, advocate, and public servant committed to expanding opportunity and strengthening communities. His career has focused on advancing equity, civil rights, and effective public policy. Mr. Meeks, please tell us a little bit about Kendrick before we get to the candidate.
Absolutely. So thank you again, Naomi and Telepom, for having me here today. My name is Kendrick Meek. I'm running for Congress in Florida's 24th Congressional District. I'm running because families across South Florida can't afford to live here anymore. The cost of housing keeps rising, the cost of insurance keeps rising, and I believe that I can bring solutions to the district and represent the district in Washington in an effective way. Just a little bit about me. I was born and raised in this community in Biscayne Gardens. I went to the University of Florida for undergrad, the University of Miami for law school, and I've worked on Capitol Hill, I've worked at the White House, and I've served as an attorney in this community for over 3 years. So I believe that my skills can certainly benefit this community in Washington as your representative.
Went into the second question, so we're going to go right to the questions with Mr. Suge.
Hey, good afternoon, Council.
Good afternoon, sir.
As a member of Congress, federal policy directly shapes healthcare access, Social Security, and Medicare, and the cost of living for families in this district. What specific federal legislation or budget priorities would you pursue in your first term to address the economic pressure and healthcare access for South Florida families?
So to address healthcare access, I think that we need to restore the ACA tax credits that were cut by Republicans as recently as January. There are more ACA enrollees in South Florida than there are anywhere else in the country, including me. And those subsidies essentially ensured that people pay half what they're paying now. So for example, I'm paying $440 now. If we restored those subsidies, the price of my premiums would go down to $200-something a month. That's how you make a meaningful difference in people's lives in the short term. We can also, to address the economic issues, we can spend the federal gas tax. And mind you, doing that would not only lower the price of for consumers, but it also lower the price of everything. Because if you think about how groceries are delivered, how our packages are delivered, they're all delivered on trucks which use fuel. So when you lower the price of fuel, you lower the price of every commodity on the market. Again, that's another way, and that suspension would only be temporary. I also think that we need to end the war in Iran. It's the reason why gas is at $4 a gallon right now. If we combine suspending the federal gas tax with ending the war in Iran, we can see the price of gas go down, and of course the price of everything else go down with it.
Very good, counsel. As an immigration attorney, I'm aware that unlike state officials, a member of Congress can directly shape immigration policy, including the future of TPS for Haitian nationals. What specific federal legislation would you introduce or support to provide permanent, lasting solution for TPS holders and to strengthen U.S.-Haiti relations?
Absolutely. So in the short term, I think that we need to pass Senate Bill 4814. It's already passed the House, thanks to support from our Republican colleagues across the aisle here in South Florida, Maria Elvira Salazar and Congressman Jimenez. But the Senate needs to do its job, which is why I call on Senators Ashley Moody and Rick Scott to support that legislation and pass it immediately. Senate Bill 4814 would extend TPS until 2029. But of course, beyond that, we need to make sure that the folks that have been here for many, many years, have bought homes, started families, started businesses, and are frankly the backbone of our community, have an opportunity to stay here, but with a pathway to residency and then to citizenship. This is something that I'm very passionate about because my grandmother, Congresswoman Carrie Meek, championed protecting TPS for Haitians many years ago. My father continued that legacy in Congress, but we still have work to do. And of course, we know now that we can't just offer temporary solutions to this problem. We have to provide the folks, again, that have been here for many years with a pathway to permanent residency and then to citizenship.
Thank you so much. We'll have follow-up question from Dr. Bleumier.
Thank you so very much, Attorney Mink. At the end of your first term, what measurable outcomes should voters use to evaluate your performance, and what commitments are you willing to make tonight regarding transparency, accessibility, and reporting back to the community on your progress?
So I think the measurable thing would just see the cost of living go down. And of course, that's a broad statement, but really, we have one of the least affordable housing markets in the country. I think that if we expanded the low-income housing tax credit, which is something that's part of my platform, we can lower the cost of housing for everyone here in South Florida and make South Florida more affordable for the folks that are here. Beyond that, again, I think suspending the federal gas tax would be another measurement that folks could measure my success by, and saying we lowered the price of gas, almost as soon as we got to office. And finally, I think, beyond that, in terms of accountability and accessibility, I'll tell you now, I've been absolutely accessible during this campaign. I've been knocking on doors. A lot of the other candidates aren't doing that. They're actually paying folks to do that. So I actually call on them to go out and knock on their constituents' doors, because you learn a lot. You learn a lot about the issues that people face on a regular basis. It reminds you why you're running. It motivates me, certainly. And it's a great way to connect with your neighbors. And so as part of that, we're doing a Pound the Pavement tour. We have an RV that's actually going around the district to community centers, to places of worship, and of course to people's neighborhoods. And we're just trying to connect with voters on a very on a face-to-face level. And that's something that we don't often see from our elected officials, but it's something we ought to see. And I expect to do that when I get to office. I want to be as accessible as I can possibly be, because I think that's the marker of a great representative.
Thank you so very much, Attorney Meeks. At this time, you have 1 minute to tell the Haitian-American community why should they vote for you. And please give us your punch number and your website.
Absolutely. And again, thank you for the opportunity to speak with you all. I'm not sure I'll be able to make it to the question and answer period, but there was just a bit of a conflict, but I hope I can. Again, my name is Kendrick Meek. I'm running to be a member of Congress here in Florida's 24th Congressional District. I can tell you that you should vote for me because we're at a critical crossroads. South Florida is fundamentally unaffordable for the folks that built this community, and we have an administration in charge that wants to treat our Haitian brothers and sisters like they're second-class citizens. But I know, just as you know, that you all are the backbone of this community. You are the reason why, my grandmother got great care in her old age. You're the reason why when we go to hospitals, we get the highest level of care. You're the reason why I can tell you I went to law school with a lot of Haitian folks. And you have every right to stay here. And I'll ensure that I'm your best representative in Washington. When I get elected, I'll ensure that the administration treats you with the respect that you deserve. And of course, that we not only restore TPS, but that we provide a permanent pathway to residency and then to citizenship for folks that are on TPS. So thank you all very much for the opportunity again. My name is Kendrick Meek. My punch number is 33. That's 33. And you all have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Attorney Meek. We wish you the best.
Thank you very much, Naomi. Have a good one.
At this time, we're going to bring our next candidate for Congress, and that is none other than Commissioner Oliver Gilbert III, a Miami-Dade County Commissioner and former mayor of Miami Gardens. He is also endorsed by outgoing Congresswoman Frederica Wilson. Welcome.
Hey, Naomi, how are y'all doing today?
We're doing great, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Listen, it is always, campaigns are always stressful and exciting all at the same time, but it's been a long but very good day.
We know campaigns are extremely stressful. So right now, we're just going to give you a moment. Tell us about Oliver before we get into the candidate.
Yeah, no, I'm just, listen, I like to describe myself as a regular kid from Miami Gardens. So one of the things that I do is I go around to the schools in our district. And before I was a commissioner, I did it in Miami Gardens, but I just to talk to them about who I am. What I tell them is I'm a regular kid from Miami Gardens. I went to Parkview and Parkway in Norland. And so I went away to college at FAMU, but I graduated from UM's law school. And every morning I would take the bus and the Metro Rail to Coral Gables, and I'd come back every night. My dad picked me up. He'd ask me what I learned. The point of him asking that question was he wanted me to actually bring home everything I learned. I tell them that because the same kid who grew up in Miami Gardens, who parked cars for the stadium when people used to come to Dolphins games in front of his grandparents' house on 28th Avenue, it's the same man who became mayor of Miami Gardens and became a county commissioner, became a chairman. The same man who's in front of them right now, in front of all of you, running for Congress. I tell them because it's hard work and faith. It's a belief in the American dream that your hard work can actually transform whatever it is you want. You can make yourself. And so I give that to my parents. I give that to my community. I give that to my faith in God. And I give that to the fact that if we just persevere, if we keep showing up, if we keep working, we keep giving our best, it actually works out. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a friend. One of the things about campaigns is people will often say to other folks, well, you only come around when you want elections. People don't really say that to me because you see me everywhere, because I actually enjoy being a part of this community. I'm not a stranger to any part of our community, not the Haitian community, not the African-American community, not the Hispanic community. I'm around because I enjoy who we are. I was born and raised here literally, and I actually live here. I live in the house that I purchased from my parents. I lived in this very house until I was 10 years old. I bought it from them, and this is where I'm raising my family. This is where we live.
Into it with Metsure, Ronald Surin, who's going to move forward with the next questions.
Hey, good afternoon, Commissioner Gilbert.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. As a member of Congress, federal policy directly shapes healthcare access, Social Security, and Medicare, and the cost of living for families in the district. What specific federal legislation or budget priorities would you pursue in your first term to address the economic pressure and the healthcare access for South Florida families?
Well, I also, first of all, healthcare is a problem for us all. And one of the things that I note is that I believe that healthcare is an actual right. I believe that you're in America, you are entitled to healthcare. I think that it's the smart thing to do from a compassionate perspective, but also from an economic perspective. You want people actually engaging in preventive care because preventive care is so much less expensive than emergency care. So right now we're being silly when we're cutting off subsidies and we're trying to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. That's silliness in Washington. We need to make healthcare available to everyone. Some of the specific things that I do is I believe that we need to, if we can't get Medicare for all, let's lower the age for Medicare. And then at the same time, let's raise the income limits for people who are eligible for Medicaid. One of the things that we do is we punish the working poor. We say if you get a job, you lose your insurance, you lose coverage. That's silly. If people are actually trying to work and they want to work, let them work, let them earn, and let's adjust the levers in Medicaid to make sure they still have access. Let's bring back subsidies. So if you even pass that limit, we'll still help you because we know that it's cheaper and it's better for us to actually have you going to the doctor, getting coverage, getting checkups and all that stuff, than to actually find out something on the back end. We know that if we provide the opportunity for someone to check to see if that lump is actually cancer and catch it early, stage 1, stage 2, it's a lot better for them and a lot better for us than them not knowing and us catching it in stage 4. Those are some of the things that I do.
Well, this is my second question.
Sure.
As an immigration attorney, I'm well aware that unlike state officials, a member of Congress can directly shape immigration law, including the future of TPS for Haitian nationals.
Mm-hmm.
What specific federal legislation would you introduce or support to provide a permanent, lasting solution for TPS holders and to strengthen U.S.-Haiti relations?
Well, listen, we are addressing the TPS issue and we're addressing it in an emergency fashion right now. But in truth, this shouldn't be an emergency. In truth, the folks who are on TPS, the Haitians who are on TPS should be citizens. So people keep telling me that it was supposed to be temporary. It's supposed to be temporary. You know what? If it's supposed to be temporary, let's make it temporary. They've been here for 16 years. They're working. They're parts of our community. They're American in the most important of ways. They come here with the idea of transforming their life. They come here fleeing places that was dangerous and wasn't safe to be. Not unlike people who came here from Europe in the 1900s and the 1910s and the 1920s. People just like that. They came with the same spirit of gratefulness. They came here with the same spirit, looking for opportunity. Well, we should make them citizens. If you don't think that they should have temporary protective status, let's make them citizens and give them full rights of citizenship. In the interim right now, I would support legislation to extend temporary status, but I believe in a path to citizenship. I think we need to stop safeguarding citizenship like it's just for us, like it was just for a special group of people. No, I think that we should allow them to be citizens. And I think that's consistent with our values, and it's also consistent with our economic needs. One of the things that I noticed that we're doing this thing with TPS and we're having all these conversations about immigration, but in truth, these immigrations ignore our economic realities. They ignore that folks who are on TPS, they make our economy stronger. Immigration makes our economy stronger. So when we hear all of these folks dressing up their prejudice as policy and saying we're going to put everybody out and they're dangerous, that's not the real story. And in Miami-Dade County in South Florida, we understand that because we're a community that's been made better by folks who came here. In Miami-Dade County alone, 53% of the people who live in Miami-Dade County were born in a different country. We are the most recovered economy in America since COVID. Those things aren't independent of each other. They go hand in hand. We need to be smart economically, and we need to be smart from a humanistic perspective and extend TPS right now and put in place comprehensive immigration reform so that there's a real, sincere, and immediate path to citizenship for Haitians who've been on TPS.
Much, Commissioner. At this time, our next question is, obviously, as a Haitian-American community, we're used to candidates coming and getting our votes, and then we never see them, or we see them during events. And so at this time, our question is, at the end of your first term, what measurable outcomes should voters use to evaluate your performance, and what commitments are you willing to make tonight regarding transparency, accessibility, and reporting back to the Haitian-American community on your progress?
Well, I like to note that voters might be used to just people coming and seeing their votes in the Haitian community or asking for their votes, but I know both of you, and I am someone who does come around. I believe in staying connected to this community, every part of this community. I think it's hard to serve when you're not. I can appreciate that some people need to get to know the community. Listen, I go door to door not to get to know the people. I know the people. I was their mayor, their commissioner, the chairman of the board. I've been in every aspect and every type of event. I've worshiped with you in your services. That won't stop. That won't stop, not because I'm promising you that I'll do it. That won't stop because I enjoy doing that. And I think that's important for service. I think staying connected to the community makes me a better public servant. And I think it always has. And it might be because I came up through public service as a city councilman and then a mayor. And when you have that type of intimate relationship with people you represent, you expect people to stop and talk to you in public. So all of that interaction, all that stuff that you've seen, you'll still see that. But you have my commitment to continuously come back and not just update you, but get your input. A lot of times, sometimes, folks they make decisions, and I don't just make decisions about stuff. I take input from folks. So when I'm talking about what the policy of America on Haiti is going to be and how I'm going to vote, we're not having conversations after I cast that vote. We're having conversations before I cast that vote, because I want you to have input. I want you to know that we're not just talking about migration and immigration. I'm talking about us investing in infrastructure in Haiti to make it so that folks don't have to come here. Haiti needs to be safer. We owe that they're not just our neighbors, they're our family. They've been with us since the very beginning. So I don't know how to separate this young man from this community. I'm going to be with you the whole time. I know both of you. I know a lot of folks here, and I believe that a measurement of my success will be how I communicate with you and how present I am. You'll be able to see that, but then you'll also be able to see me introduce legislation and fight for legislation that are our priorities. Legislation that speaks to housing, legislation that speaks to infrastructure, legislation that speaks to transportation.
Thank you so very much, Commissioner.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry, I got carried away.
At this time, you have 1 minute to tell the Haitian American community why they should vote for you and why you're the best choice for this seat. Obviously, there's 8 of you vying for this position. 7 of you are going to speak tonight. But why would we pick you? Please give us your punch number and your website address.
My punch number is 31. My website is olivergilbert.vote. You'll see policy issues there. You see my ideas there. You should vote for me because I've been here, and listen, I've worked for you. Everyone that you hear tonight is going to have great ideas, and we basically, most of us agree on most of the stuff. The difference is you have the ability to actually look at my track record. One of the things that I say about leadership is that people ought to be able to see a difference. When I left Miami Gardens, you could see a difference. You could see a difference. I transformed the city. I did things that people said couldn't be done. I worked at it until I actually showed my progress. As county commissioner, there's a young man who's a member of a union who got fired because his wife had cancer and he needed time off. He's back at work right now. You can see the difference of my leadership. Paid leave, paid parental leave, paid sick leave. How we actually, the North Miami CRA, which I stood right next to Commissioner Bastien to make sure they got the hundreds of millions of dollars they were entitled to invest in economic development in a community that I didn't even represent. It was the right thing to do. That's who I am. That's who I've been. I'll stand with you. I'll be with you. I'll fight for you. I appreciate you. My touch number is 31. I would love to have your vote.
Thank you so very much, Commissioner Oliver Gilbert III. At this time, we're going to go to his campaign advertisement.
Oliver Gilbert, c'est une nan oui. En pile haïtien relève Olivier Gilbert tellement connecté avec nous. Premier madame, c'est haïtien, oui. Ça veut dire, petit li Olivier Gilbert 4, c'est haïtien tout. Chef cabinet Oliver Gilbert, c'est Hakim Brutus, petit maître Philippe Brutus. Et assistant, c'est Sandra Pierre-Paul. Qui plus belle, senior conseiller exécutif Oliver Gilbert, c'est Teresa Terilus, c'est une nan nous. C'est Oliver Gilbert, oui, qui encourageait et supportait Linda Julien pour le premier haïtien qui élu dans Miami Garden. Tout l'autre jour là, il était porte mi-temps derrière élection député Wallace Aristide. À la yo, bon partenaire communauté a gagné. Les autres a dit Miami Garden, c'est celle boutique porno avec machin tapia qui là. Oliver Gilbert transformé en plus gros centre attraction dans le Floride là. Football Miami Dolphins, Miami Hurricane, Miami Open dans tennis, Formula 1 dans course machine, concert jazz in the garden. Comme commissionnaire avec Sherman Dade County, Oliver Gilbert balançait budget dans 2 ans. Il aidé commissionnaire Marlène Bastien débloquer 5 millions de dollars chaque année pour Sierra notre Miami. Il encourageait FIFA porter mondial là dans la communauté. Choix clair, communauté a besoin d'un monde qui compte bataille pour représenter dans Washington. Nous ne pouvons pas choisir ni pour bel pantalon, ni pour belle parole. Nous avons choisi Olivier Gilbert parce que nous connaissons Olivier a délivré. Votez, piquez, punché numéro 31 pour Oliver Gilbert, député district 24. American Made, comité action politique, approuvé et payé pour message. Ça.
Monsieur, nous avons une chance pour nous tendre un peu dans le candidat et il y a plusieurs nous pas le tendre après. Mais ça qui est important qui pour attirer l'attention nous, c'est pour nous distinguer entre eux, pour nous connaître qui est qui vraiment répond à besoin nous, qui est capable d'adapter à la réalité nous et qui comprend la souffrance nous n'a souffrir. Yon moun qui candidat, c'est un monde qui vient dans job interview devant pour décider est-ce que ou elle qualifié pour job là, est-ce que c'est lui-même qui plus mérité position ça. Dans ce cas, c'est vous-même qui en charge. C'est vous-même qui pour décider, c'est pas vous-même qui pour travailler pour, c'est vous-même qui employé pour yo travail pour. Dans ce sens ça, ou pral faire évaluation pour élection ça qui très très important pour communauté a. Fois ça nous-mêmes n'a gagné nous dans balance là, présence nous a marqué qui est qui décide pour remplir position ça dans district 24 ça qui couvre toute communauté à Miami-Dade, nous-mêmes n'a fait reconnaître place nous là. Nous important, nous jouons un rôle primordial dans Miami-Dade County. So nous gain participation nous et reconnaître nous pour force nous, pour voir nous et pour façon nous même nous intégrer dans le système politique là. So frère Axel, élection ça très important pour nous participer. C'est ça que fait élection pour voter bien bonheur, c'est commencer lundi 3 août là, arriver jusqu'à le 16 et élection jour c'est le 18. Pas oublier, préparez-vous pour voter.
Merci beaucoup, Maître Surin. Thank you so very much. We're ready to welcome our next candidate for U.S. Congress, and that is none other than Senator Chevron Jones. Please bring him up. Senator Chevron Jones is a state senator and former public school teacher. He has spent 14 years in the Florida legislature representing Miami Gardens, City of North Miami, and different parts of unincorporated Dade and the surrounding communities. Welcome, Senator.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Excellent. At this time, we want to talk to Chevron.
I love it.
Tell us a little bit about Chevron. Who is Chevron, and what would you like the Haitian community to know about Chevron?
Well, my name is Chevron Jones, and most people call me Chev, and I'm proud to serve as your state senator. I was born and raised right here in South Florida. I grew up in Miami Gardens. I spent part of my childhood in West Park. Graduated from American Senior High School, earned my degree in biochemistry, molecular biology from Florida A&M University, and later earned my master's from Florida Atlantic University in educational leadership. And I taught in the classroom I taught AP chemistry for 10 years in the classroom before going into the legislature. And for the last 14 years, I've served in the legislature, in one of the toughest legislatures in America. First in the Florida House for 8 years, and now in the Florida Senate for the past 6 years. And during that time, we've passed meaningful pieces of legislation. We passed over 40 bills, proving that even in difficult political environments, you can still bring people together and deliver results. And so that's and my parents and my mom, my dad's a pastor. I've been pastoring for over 46 years, and my mom was a teacher in 36 years that she taught in the Miami-Dade County public school system. And so it's there where I learned about faith and service. My dad, he instilled faith and in service, and my mom, she was in service as a public school teacher. And so that's about me.
Obviously, you have a long tenure in the legislature. Why are you running for Congress?
Well, listen, I mean, I'm running for Congress because I believe Washington needs more people focused on solving problems than scoring political points. I mean, our community deserves someone who has a proven record of getting things done, and someone who understands what's at stake for the families who call this district home. People are hurting, and people feel it. I feel it. Naomi, you feel it. Everyone sitting at that table, they feel it because the cost of living is high. The cost of gas is high. People are having to decide whether to pay their rent or get their prescription drugs. We need bold leadership in Washington, D.C. We need individuals who are going to fight for the things that are important to families. We see this back and forth ping pong that's happening with our community. I'm not even just talking about our Haitian community. I'm talking about our Black community at large. We see the policies that is coming forth out of Tallahassee that is making its way to Washington, D.C. We have to have someone who knows this process, who knows the game, but also is not afraid to go toe to toe with these individuals who are trying to pull our rights away from us and really literally pull and pull the rug right from under us. We need a fighter. I know I am that fighter. I've fought this fight for the past 14 years, and I know I can continue doing it.
Thank you so very much. We're going to shift over to Metsulen, who's going to go with the next questions.
Hey, good afternoon, Senator.
Good afternoon.
My question to you, as a member of Congress, federal policy directly shapes healthcare access, Social Security and Medicare, and the cost of living for families in this district. What specific federal legislation or budget priority would you pursue in your first term to address the economic pressure and healthcare access for South Florida families?
I appreciate that. One, I want to make it clear that I believe that we need to have Medicare for all first. I believe that no one should have to fight or try to lobby for their health care. That's an economic crisis. That's a national security crisis when we are not taking care of American people. I will absolutely protect health care and Social Security. I'll fight to protect Medicare and Medicaid, but lowering the lower prescription drug costs. I'll defend Social Security. I'll make sure every family have access to quality and affordable health care. I want to make sure that we put our community health clinics back into our community. People who have these programs like Dr. Pierre and so many others. I mean, these are healthcare clinics that our community need, that they don't have to drive all the way to Jackson. They don't have to drive all the way to Memorial. They shouldn't have to drive all the way to Miramar Memorial Hospital. There should be clinics right within our community where people can have access to. The second thing is, I will be an advocate to ensure that we extend the ACA subsidies. In January, we had the opportunity to do that. We had the opportunity to extend it to 2029, but it went over into the Senate and politics hit. And guess what? Now people are paying the highest rates when it comes to healthcare coverage than ever before. And then look what happened with the big ugly bill. The big ugly bill calls for what? Calls for the fees for Medicaid and Medicare to skyrocket. It calls for community clinics to be taken away. It's telling doctors who you can and who you cannot treat. I will make sure I fight for those things, because not because it's a talking point, because our community is the one that's being hit the hardest.
To you, as an immigration attorney, I'm well aware, unlike state official, a member of Congress can directly shape immigration law, including the future of TPS for Haitian nationals. What specific federal legislation would you introduce or support to provide a permanent, lasting solution for TPS holders and to strengthen U.S.-Haiti relations?
First, I appreciate this question, and I'm gonna be very honest with you. It's sad of what we're seeing, to where this administration, their idea of immigration policy is ICE and how they have tortured people on the ground. This administration's idea of immigration policy is internment camps, and they believe that that's policy. The most inhumane ways in how people have been treated, even to our Haitian brothers and sisters that we're seeing right now. First, I will fight for permanent solution for our Haitian families and others living with the uncertainty under TPS. And because 100% for far too long, people have built their lives here. People have raised their children here. People have paid their taxes. People have started their businesses. People have worshiped in these churches. They have strengthened these communities. As a matter of fact, a lot of these communities would not be what they are if it was not for the Haitian community. And that's not who we should be as a country. One of the first priorities that I will do, I will introduce the American Promise and Stability Act. And that is legislation that I want to create a pathway to lawful permanent residency for people who have lived in the United States under TPS or any type of other humanitarian protection. And they have been continuously, for at least 3 years, have followed the law, they have paid their taxes, and they have contributed to their communities. People who have operated in good faith deserve more than temporary extensions. They deserve certainty. They deserve dignity. And they deserve the opportunity to become Americans, and not sending individuals back to a country to where the United States themselves have said that it is level 4, meaning unsafe for human beings. But yet and still, this administration think it's okay to allow South Africans to come from South Africa to America, but send Haitians back to their country that they themselves say is not safe for people to live in.
Senator, for that was a lot, and you definitely hit it on the head. Thank you so very much. The next question is, at the end of your first term, what measurable outcomes should voters use to evaluate your performance? And what commitments are you willing to make tonight regarding transparency, accessibility, and reporting back to the Haitian community on your progress? Obviously, it's 8 of you vying for this position. Please tell us tonight, what can we expect from you?
I'll be very frank with you. For the past 14 years, the one thing that I have never shied from is making sure that I keep community informed. Community meetups is my jam. I'm just going to say it. I enjoy town hall meetings because it gives people the opportunity, not just for me to hear the people, but I also allow the people to understand that there at least is somebody who is listening to me. So often I think politicians that we get into these positions and we think that it's about just throwing the events or throwing the book bag drafts. And not saying that nothing is anything wrong with those things. But I also believe that there is a world where people also want to be educated and empowered and engaged. And so I will continue that because I've done that. I am no stranger to people holding me accountable. Naomi, you know that. And if I need to own up to something, I will. I signed up for this to do this. And so I will make sure that when people are holding me accountable, hold me transparent, and we can do that in many different ways. The measurable outcome, I will know that I have been doing what I've promised people that I would do from that, from doing these town hall meetings and hearing people out, and also measurable by the fact of what resources I can bring back home. I know I can bring resources home. I've done it before. I know I can negotiate because I've done it before. And I know for a fact that the results that we bring back, they will hit the people. They will feel it. They will see it, because that's what I've done for 14 years, to make sure the bills and the money that we brought back home, that people can see, feel, and touch that. And consistency has worked for me. So I'm going to be consistent even after we get to Congress. And that's the promise I can give, because it's worked for me.
Very much, Senator. At this time, you have 1 minute to tell the Haitian American community why should they vote for you. Give us your punch number and your website address.
First of all, thank you all so much. My punch number is number 32, and I just want to leave you all with this. Throughout my career, I have tried to live by one simple principle, and that is people always come before politics. And that's why I've stood with the Haitian community long before this campaign, whether it was fighting for TPS, whether it was speaking out when families were being targeted, or making sure your voices were heard in Tallahassee. This election is no different. This election isn't just about representing us in Congress. It's about what kind of future we want to build together, and a future where hard work is rewarded, a future where families can afford to stay in South Florida, and a future where our Haitian community is not simply acknowledged, but they are respected, they are protected, and they are represented. I'm Chevron Jones. I'll be honored to earn your vote. I'll be honored to earn your support. And I will be honored for you all to go on this journey with me again for another round in the United States Congress. Number 32, I'm Chevron Jones, and I'm so pleased to be with you all tonight.
It was a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so very much, Senator. At this time, we're going to turn to his campaign ad.
He's one of our own. He shows up. He understands this community. He stands for us.
I was born and raised in Miami Gardens. This community made me. From the teachers who believed in me to the neighbors who looked out for me and taught me what commitment and service really mean. I left home to attend Florida A&M University, but I never forgot where I came from. Because no matter where life takes you, home is still home. And right now here at home, too many families are struggling. Groceries and gas costs keep rising. Rent is too high. Healthcare bills are literally bankrupting families. People are working harder than ever, but still falling behind. Politicians in Washington don't see us. They're more focused on themselves and their wealthy donors. Our community deserves someone who understands our struggle, shares our value, and wakes up every day focused on lowering costs and creating opportunities for working families. That's why I've always fought for this community. It's why I was proud to fight alongside Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, and it's why I've decided to run for Congress. In the State House and Senate, I took on MAGA extremists in Tallahassee. I stood up to Trump when he tried to line his pockets with our money.
Chevron is the next generation of leadership.
Chev is a fighter. No more choosing between the doctor and paying the light bill, and an end to the attacks on our rights and our neighbors living in fear. That's what we're fighting for, and together, we'll win. Because it's a new day, and the future is ours to build.
Thank you so very much. It has been a pleasure thus far. We know time is winding down and there are a lot of people with tight schedules, but please give us a chance. We're going to get to everybody. At this time, we are going to bring up Dr. Rudolph Moise. Dr. Rudolph Moise was born in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. He's a physician and attorney with practices in the city of North Miami. He's a retired U.S. Air Force flight surgeon and has testified before the U.S. Senate on Haiti policy. Welcome, Dr. Moise. How are you tonight? Okay, Dr. Moise, we need you to put on your sound. Nap kitem Dr. Moïse setup. Après ça, pour nous retourner. Bon, comment nous y est? Est-ce que nous, notre chat là, est-ce que nous mettons des questions pour nous? Qui ça n'a fait? OK, c'est très important que nous mettions des questions, que nous commandions candidats, nous gagnons après que nous finissons passer toutes, gagnons qu'à prêter behind to answer some of the questions that we may have. OK, est-ce que Dr. Moïse paraît? OK, Dr. Moïse, je pensais que c'est possible ou un problème avec Mike là. Donc ça, moi, t'as fait, moi, t'as come off the StreamYard et puis retourner back on et puis make sure ou cliquer sur Mike. Bon, monsieur, qui j'en ouais bagay a développé là?
Bon, est-ce que c'est Jean-Mouel? Nous besoin qu'on ait gens communauté à Ouel. Jusqu'à présent, nous avons plusieurs candidats qui passent déjà et une variété de talents, de compétences et les gens doivent un choix difficile pour la communauté. C'est ça que fait nous-mêmes, nous décortiquer chaque candidat pour nous côté au camper, pour nous qui la communauté a fait un bon choix. Nous trouvons que le travail, ça, c'est un travail extraordinaire. Et nous profiter remercier BL Consulting pour être les chita là pour l'organiser une séance extraordinaire comme ça et Télépam qui fait nous capables ouais et nous partager moment ça. Ça sont belles bagages pour communauté. Ça dit Dr. Belmu.
Bon, faut moi dire communauté que c'est depuis 2018 nous commençons ça et mettre sur rien depuis 2020. Mettre sur un méta avec moi pour nous te faire non seulement un forum, mais nous faire débat, nous faire town hall. Durant le moment Covid là, nous te assuré que malgré nous pas de connecter ensemble, nous pas de frapper porte, mais nous te porter candidat ba nous, excusez. Et nous connaissons que c'est pas seulement Surin, nous avons Dr. Vanessa Pierre qui était avec nous, nous avons Sandra Saint-Hilaire qui était avec nous, nous avons Anthony Bonami qui fait plusieurs années avec nous pour assurer que nous avons possibilité pour nous entrer la caillou virtuellement pour qu'attendre candidat et pour qu'à faire un bon choix. So, à ça m'a dit chapeau bas pour mettre sur pas une fois que me relève pour un débat, pour un forum, pour un town hall. I was able to say, I'm got it that way, I'm not sure. He's always saying yes, and we really appreciate you. You are a gem in this community. Thank you.
Bon. Merci, Dr. Blemi. Mais nous connaissons public service là, c'est un bagage nous prend à cœur pour nous bailler en retour sa communauté à faire pour nous. Nous connaissons ou même ou bataille dans toute qualité catégorie, mais pour question femme là même, ça va mourir pour eux, va mourir ensemble avec eux parce qu'on supporte dans toute activité dans pendant toute année, docteur. So, ça sont bagage qui est extraordinaire et avancement communautaire pour empowerment pour la femme haïtienne. Bon, nous mettons chapeau bas devant et comment ou capable à supporter fille bien fort comme ça et puis pour être une madame mariée qui campait bon côté mari. Gen moun qui pas faire balance ça. On va rentrer dans vie personnelle mais nous apprécions gens ou comporter ou gens ou même ou faire un exemple pour communauté surtout pour jeunes dames qui ont grandi pour yo un exemple pour yo suivre dans la communauté.
Merci, Mathurin. Ça, moi, qu'a dit, c'est foi. It's my faith. Foi dans Christ, li bam stabilité, li bam principe, li bam marche à suivre. Donc, c'est pas que m'pi bon passer on l'autre femme, c'est pas que c'est moi qui bon, c'est moi qui ceci, c'est moi qui c'est là. Non. I am a woman of faith. I live by the principles of the Word of God. I follow it. Moi pas parfait, mais moi accepter que c'est Christ qui a guidé vie moi Et donc, la vie mwen fini, mwen gen yon réponse. I have to give him an account. So, account mwen même ta reme by Leah is a good account, a faithful account, a loyal account, a committed account. Et c'est ça m'ta reme le Seigneur a joindre nan moi-même.
Bon, ou konnen pour accomplir toute bagay ça, faut gen le présence le Saint-Esprit nan ou même.
C'est ça, c'est ça. Okay, thank you. Nous pensons que we are moving. We can take our next person. We see Dr. Moise. Is he sound on? Okay. Okay, Dr. Moise, you have to log out and log back in. Okay, we're going to go with our next candidate for Congress, and that is none other than Mr. Marshall Davis Sr. Please bring him up.
Hi.
Hello,
Thank you.
good evening, sir. How are you today?
Good evening to you. I'm so glad to be here on the Haitian-American Forum. I think it's an ideal place to have a conversation.
Excellent. We are so honored to have you, and it's great to meet your acquaintance. At this time, please tell us a little bit about yourself, and then tell us about Marshall. Who is Marshall?
Well, Marshall is a child that was born in the Overtown area. I was raised in Liberty City, and I raised my children in Miami Gardens. I also live now in Miramar. So Marshall has 7 children of his own and 7 grandchildren. One, I'm proud to say, has one of Haitian heritage. She's an A+ student, have never made anything lower than an A in her 10 years of living. I'm very proud of her. I'm very proud also because of the program that I have ran for the last 43 years. That program has been the catalyst for a number of students to participate to get a scholarship to college, to become a lawyer, doctor. They have been given scholarships to Berkeley, to Yale's. They're teaching at Yale's, they're teaching at Howard University, teaching at FAMU. It's been a wonderful program. They're performing all around the world because of the program, the structured program that we have. And that's what I'm known for developing a strategy that has a structure, that has a system, that has a schedule, and that brings success. My programs are programs of solutions, not just complaining, but finding out what the issues are and finding a solution to those issues. We can't just continue to complain, but in the description of the problem is also the description of the solution. So I'm proud to say that I went to Miami Northwestern, went to Miami-Dade Community College, and also graduated from Florida Atlantic University. And I spent my last 43 years in arts, using the arts as a platform to improve lives, to transform lives. Many of the students have done extremely well. And that's because a lot of people don't know what art does for the brain. It educates the opposite side of the brain. It also develops our gray matter. It develops our cerebrum and our synaptic system. So art is essential to life, and it helps us out in so many different ways. So that's part of who Marshall Davis is, a person who is committed, a person that's not the regular politician, a person who's unbought and not for sale, a person who'll get the job done.
Thank you. Why Congress? Tell us, why are you running for Congress?
Well, one of the reasons I decided to run for Congress, I retired earlier this year because I wanted to expand the program. That program that I've been managing for the last 43 years has proven to be very successful. So my initial thought was, let me retire and see if I can take this around the nation. And then all of a sudden, the district became open and the district has been changed. The district that was once is no longer that district. This district is very viable. It's multicultural, it's art-centric, and these are the skills that I have. It goes all the way from Overtown, all the way to Dania, across to Pembroke Pines, back to the airport. There's so many enriching communities and art-centric areas that need to have someone like me to excite them, to ignite them, and to see how the arts can further improve our communities.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Marshall. At this time, we're going to head over to Metsuyen, who's going to move forward with further questioning.
Thank you.
Hey, good evening, Mr. Davis.
Good evening, sir.
As a member of Congress, federal policy directly shapes healthcare access, Social Security, Medicare, and the cost of living for families in this district. What specific federal legislation or budget priorities would you pursue in your first term to address the economic pressure and healthcare access for South Florida families?
So one of the things that I would do is look at housing, because housing many times is unaffordable, and everyone should have the dignity. And the way it's structured now, we think that we cannot have a home, but we can. If we can pay the first, last, and security for a rental property, we can use those funds to purchase a home. What I'm proposing is a 3x3 plan, 3% down payment on a home, and a 3% fixed interest that will allow people access to a home and have the dignity of life. Next thing I think should happen, if we want to really bring down affordability, we have to increase our earning ability. And we do that by allowing people to become educated. So we should be able to borrow a loan, again, 3x3, a 3% interest rate on what you borrow. And then when you graduate and you begin to get into the workforce, your payment is at a fixed 3% as well. So you never pay more than 3% of your income, your net income. And then you allow those individuals who are still under the weight of paying for their education to also join this program and to reduce their payments. So we need to make sure that we are securing Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. These are things that are vital. We need to make sure that we're also adding to that, not only the right to have medicine and those kind of things, but the right to nutritional counseling and to lifestyle improvements. We can have a better life and medicines can become less costly if we maintain our health. So I think that's something that needs to be added to the health program. And we need to make sure that everyone has the right and have the insurance for those services.
Now, my second question to you. As an immigration attorney, I'm well aware, unlike state officials, members of Congress can directly shape immigration law, including the future of TPS for Haitian nationals. So in this regard, what specific federal legislation would you introduce or support to provide a permanent, lasting solution for TPS holders and to strengthen the U.S.-Haiti relations?
I think with the TPS, it's not complete. It needs to add on to it a process, a pathway that you can become a resident or a citizen if that's your desire. If you want to be a resident, fine. If you want to be a citizen, great. This is critical to our economy. Housing, agriculture, hospitality, and also other intellectual, medical fields. It's essential to have people from Haiti to be in those services. Right now, we're at a critical point that over 70% of our population who work with these services could be taken out. And that's going to seriously affect our economy. We need to recognize the value of the people of Haiti. We need to make sure that we are honoring them as they prescribe to be a citizen or to be a resident. The second thing that we need to do is to make sure that we have that pathway. And the third thing that we need to do is make sure that we go to Haiti and find out what's the problem, how are guns coming into Haiti, how is ammunition coming into Haiti, and what we should do about resolving that issue. So if the people from Haiti want to go back home to visit or to remain there, they have that option as well.
I'll pass you Dr. Blemire for follow-up questions.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Davis. Thank you so very much, Mr. Davis. Our next question is, at the end of your first term, what measurable outcomes should voters use to evaluate your performance And what commitments are you willing to make tonight regarding transparency, accessibility, and reporting back to the Haitian American community on your progress?
For those that may or may not know me, you should know that I've been in this service for 43 years. I've not been hard to find. I've been at work daily, every morning until evening, on weekends, and what have you. You always find me at a place where I can be received, and I can receive you. I worked very hard throughout the years. There's people like John Mapu, Commissioner Bastine, Monestine, that know of my service and have awarded my services for my work. Recently, I had a building named after me because of the fine quality work that I provide. Quality has always been very important to me. So I will have open communication lines. I will meet with your organizations. I will meet with you individually, collectively, whatever's required, so that we can see what your aspirations are, what your needs are, how do you want to see your community affected. We have a challenge right now with the Magic City that's coming to the Haitian area. We want to make sure anyone coming to this area is going to benefit it and not just be a process of gentrification that we have to move out and then they prosper and we receive nothing. So I'll be here to help with that fight, with that struggle, to make sure that we are getting the attention and the services and the resources we need.
So very much. At this time, Mr. Davis, you have 1 minute to tell the Haitian American community why we should vote for you.
You should vote for me because I've been in this community, as I said, for 43 years. I provided quality. I provided solutions. You hear a lot of people saying what they will fight for, but they fight and don't win. I've won. I've taken kids from off the street and put them on the highway to success. They're at Yale, they're at Berkeley, they're at Juilliard, they're at New World School of Art. They have made so many different achievements. They're lawyers, doctors, they're politicians. I've done that in real time, not whining, not complaining, but finding what is the problem and how it should be resolved. I've done it for over 43 years, unbought, unpaid for. I will make sure that you're represented with the greatest dignity. I'm a person of character, and that character will help us to win the fights that we find ourselves in.
So very much, Mr. Davis. It was a pleasure to have you, and all the very best. Oh, wait, please give us your punch number and your website.
Punch number 30 is MarshallLDavisSenior.com, and you'll find all the information you need to have on what Marshall would do for District 24, a unique district that is economically challenged, but also very affluent. We need to bring this community together to get the results that we deserve.
Thank you so much, Mr. Davis.
Thank you.
All the best. At this time, have we confirmed Dr. Moise? Excellent. Can we please put him up? Our next candidate is none other than Dr. Rudolph Moise. Hello, Dr. Moise. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Excellent. Glad to hear you.
Same here.
Born in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, he's a physician, an attorney with practices in North Miami, a retired U.S. Air Force flight surgeon, and has testified before the U.S. Senate on Haiti policy. Dr. Moise, how are you today?
Doing very, very good. Thank you.
Moi, technologie a ta bon petit problème.
Oui, malheureusement, t'as observé avec l'autre monde de laptop, and c'est bon petit problème. Mais I'm back to my phone, so I'm good.
Excellent. Welcome. Bon, Dr. Moise, nous connaissons docteur. We know that you're an attorney. You've been in the Air Force. Mais parlez-nous de Rudolph. Qu'est-ce qu'il vous dit?
Merci pour la question. Ça. Eh bien, Woody, son jeune petit garçon qui quittait Haïti à 17 ans et nous fait Port-au-Prince, l'hôpital général. Maman, c'est mon cap, papa, c'est mon croix des bouquets. Le montrer ici avec une ambition parce que maman toujours dit moi, on met apprendre, parce que toute connaissance que gagne dans tête tout, l'irrité, personne pas apprendre dans monde. Donc, c'est ça qui fait que moi, l'homme de cette langue, m'apprend l'anglais, et puis me commence à travailler, étudier, parce que me devais faire famille, moi, fier. Et puis, maintenant, je suis à l'école de médecine, et à Chicago. Et puis, après l'école de médecine, là, moi, move Miami, parce que je connais moun pas mieux. Peuple, c'est Miami lié, devait venir by service avec peuple Miami. Après ça, et moi, continuer. Je travaille dans la clinique bon, je me fait commencer dans la clinique là. Après ça, m'ouvert le petit office dans 119 là. Et, c'est moi qui étais premier docteur noir dans notre Miami. Et mon plate qui dit ça même. Et puis après ça, pour là, mon aucune chaîne l'hôpital là, dans 119 là, et grand pile patient. Et ma bail service, parce que 13 000 patients ma bail service. Et je remercie la communauté hein, pour supporter moi. C'est ça qui fait que nous fait progrès comme ça dans la communauté. Hein. Et c'est ça qui fait que pour là, moi, vais aller dans le congrès et pour me bailler plus servir la communauté encore. Et c'est pour nous dire nous que ça a 16 ans, moi, j'étais candidat pour même position ça. Et en 2010, et là, ça a été 9 candidats, mais il y a 4 Haïtiens là-dedans. Et malheureusement, et tout ça me fait pour moi dire, de temps pour mes amis, avec 4 Haïtiens là, n'a pris de voiture, et on nous sorti, on fait une là, nous sorti par ça, mais on dit non, il n'y a pas sorti. Donc, Kounia là, perdu, et me sorti deuxième, avec 2000 votes. Et 2 ans après, je tourne encore contre le congresswoman là. Et puis, moi, me font aucune campagne encore. Et puis, au mois, avant l'élection, je me disais qu'il était fermé office libre. Je pensais que mon net. Et puis, le président Obama, il dit endorser lui. Et vraiment, le président Obama endorser lui. Et puis, là, ça, là, il me perd du net. Et puis, il me dit, bon, moi, fermer ça. Et grand maintenant là et on dirait pourquoi décider pour me faire ça et puis me continuer à travailler dans la communauté à bail service à faire plusieurs autres et activités dans la communauté on songe et statut Savannah le dernier qui m'était dit moi que il y a 500 soldats qui étaient participé là et la bataille d'indépendance et qui aidait avec mes Américains. Donc, faut tout le monde compte ça. Il dit que le besoin, on statut Savannah. Et puis, monsieur m'a demandé pour support moi. Et puis, moi, je me bats support vraiment, pas besoin de dire qui quantité comme bail. Mais, même bail, un bon quantité comme pour qu'il construire et monument ça, qui sont fierté pour nous, parce que n'importe qui passe Savannah qu'on y a après que, monument ici, là. Donc, c'est ça, c'est un petit résumé de ça m'a accompli communautaire.
Merci beaucoup, Dr. Moïse. Bon, d'après demander pour qui ça congrès, ou get en bas nous pour qui ça congrès, ou gain des années de pour bataille pour lui. Donc, on retourne encore at this time. Metsurin, next questions.
Hello, Dr. Moïse.
Hello, Metsurin.
I'm going to ask you the same question I asked two other candidates. As a member of Congress, the federal policy directly shapes healthcare access, Social Security, Medicare, and the cost of living for families in this district. As a physician and also becoming a politician, what specific federal legislation or budget priorities would you pursue in your first term to address the economic pressure and particularly the healthcare access for South Florida families?
Comme commencer avec healthcare là, en banque comme c'est médecin mieux et moi ouais kounya là ge en pile moun et moi qui ont ti gens, j'étais qu'on venir régulièrement dans la clinique là, kounya moi yo au lieu venir une fois par mois, moi venir une fois chaque 4 mois. Leur vini me dit ça passe nous mes amis. Ah pas ouais nous encore. Il dit docteur Maurice m'obligé 15 fois assurance moyen parce que l'assurance là monté tellement haut. Et donc c'est ça qui fait pas venir souvent. Ou bien yo médicament là ou mais y a sauté médicament à cause d'économie au lieu yo acheter médicament yo obligé faire shopping avec lui. Ou même pour groceries buy ça, vous comprenez? Donc proposal comme gain moi même cap servir communauté en façon grand et qu'on est là pour qu'un Medicare c'est à l'âge de 65 ans pour que Medicare à moins que ou gain une sorte de disability. Ça me veut porter un proposal côté que n'a porter Medicare là 10 ans, puis bonheur à 55 ans. Avantage que ça gagne à 55 ans, moun qui gagne entre 55 ans à 64 ans, kounya yo ka à docteur parce que yo gagne assurance, yo ka fait screening pour maladie qui commun dans la communauté, qui attention, sucre, cancer du sein, prostate, cancer du côlon. Si nous prenons bagage ça au plus bonheur, donc kounya là nous ka manage plus bien. Si vous êtes 65 ans, mes amis, il est trop tard. Donc, si on fait de prévention. Deuxièmement, moun kap travail et qui concourt infirmière ou bien teacher, ça y est, si au véritable, kounya là, yo pas ka retire pour que ça passe. Si au retire, il y a perdu l'assurance là. Eh bien, si au médical là, il ka continuer le travail, ou bien il ka quitter, il ka retire, ou bien pour business yo. Et puis, troisièmement, pour small business, second moun qui piage, kap travail, premium là, en pile. Mais kounya avec médical là, a commencé à 55 ans, premièrement, bin baissé. Donc, son bagage que je pense qui est un win-win pour tout le monde. Bon, pour faire économie, on connaît prix médicaments en pile, mes amis. On a payé 3 fois plus que en pile d'autres pays pour même médicaments. Donc, ce bagage qu'on parle gourmet pour lui, on a réduit prix médicaments. Il y a fait pour économie en tout, on met faut qu'on yo raise. Parce que ça coûte kounya là, il vraiment tight. Parce que on dirait ça m'a touché et ça a dépensé trop haut. Il pas qu'à mythe. Donc ça m'a porte kounya là pour ba moun yo on petit salaire qui on ti jampi pour moun yo ka dégager yo on met avec toute dépense qu'a fait gasoline ou grocery on met l'homme a fait shopping li ou et avec calme même c'est oublier ça. En pile l'école a fermé. Pour qui ça? Parce que teacher yo pas qu'à payer loyer. Mes amis sont bagay qui vraiment triste parce que si moun yo besoin bonne éducation et ils sont preuve que l'éducation marche parce qu'il y a 4 degrés et le plus connaissance qu'on gagne c'est plus bon. Donc si moun yo pas gain façon qu'on a pu à l'école on met donc mes amis qui futur ti moun sa yo. On met donc faut nous font on bagay avec Royal pour nous build more affordable housing. Dans le district là, il y a 31 000 et qui censé qu'il y a un shortage. 31,000 houses, less houses than we need. Donc nous devons construire plus affordable housing pour nos districts.
L'autre question pour vous. Étant avocat immigration, me connais c'est congrès qui doit passer loi tant que pour TPS cap casser communauté et pour capable déterminer comment haïtien capable continuer vivre ici. So what I'm asking you, when you become a congressman, what specific legislation would you introduce or support to provide permanent and lasting solution to TPS holders and to strengthen the U.S. relationship, U.S.-Haiti relationship?
Approche jambé dans créole ou parler anglais, mes amis. Excusez-moi. De toute façon, oui, mon cher, premier bagage dans short term, je pense que pour nous extend TPS là. Et il y a travail sur ça, mais gagnons républicain sénateur qui Missouri, c'est les Kembe bagage là. On met un pile sénateur d'accord, mais c'est monsieur même a Kembe dit que TPS c'est temporaire. On met qu'on a démocrate a essayé faire permanent. Comprendre et monsieur pas fin comprendre conséquences tout bail ça. Non seulement payer pour comparer pour gagner choix moun yo. Deuxièmement, moun qui ça dans TPS c'est pas criminel non, c'est bon moun qui travaille, qui paye taxe normalement, qui paye des familles yo, on met qui fait un pile bon travail dans la communauté, comprendre et employeur yo même yo besoin moun ça yo. Soit dans l'hôpital, dans nursing home, dans tout côté ça yo. Moi même l'office pas moi même 5. Et moun ça c'est yo pour jamais les cycles yo toujours là. Donc, je pense que faut que nous faire pour qu'on extend et on met pour une extension. Deuxième balle, nous devons porter ça les comprehensive immigration reform. Parce que, mes amis, il y a des gens qui là longtemps, mes amis, dans TPS, il y a presque 15-20 ans, mes amis, mais faut qu'on ait fait travail. Si on sorte là longtemps comme ça, faut que et puis moun yo gon record qui clean. Faut que pas fait une façon pour créer une sorte de path pour moun ça vinn résident, plus après ça vinn citizen. Donc son bagage qui très important, son bagage que qu'on parle goumer en pile pour ça. Vous comprenez? Et on connaît que c'est pas haïtien seulement, et en pile monde dans district là, dit même 49% moun qui en district là, c'est immigrants, 49%. Donc ça peut aider tout le monde. Ça peut aider haïtiens, ça peut aider l'autre vénézuélien, ça peut aider l'autre monde et ça.
Merci, Doc, c'est un plaisir.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Moise. Thank you so very much, Dr. Moise. At the end of your first term, what measurable outcomes should voters use to evaluate your performance? And what commitments are you willing to make tonight regarding transparency, accessibility, and reporting back to the Haitian-American community?
Une belle question. Et premièrement, moi-même, je suis un monde qui remet et parle avec moun et comme enfin nous sommes parler bon créole le monde la caille même parler l'autre langue tout parler ni spanish parler français parler l'autre langue donc nous cap communiquer avec tout le monde et pour avec haïtien yo m'ta fait ça aller et town hall meeting régulièrement m'a font petit café avec yo on même m'vettendre concert yo parce que plus m'tendez qui ça t'a remet que m'goumer pour l'autre bois là plus m'caler avec plus enthousiasme pour m'goumer pour yo et mais si m'pas connaît on met pas connaît donc son sorte de partnership lié avec communauté on met et plus comme difficulté sont des qui gros donc peut-être on le cabini OK m'a pas avec une leader Haiti après l'autre chose mal Miami Gardens on l'autre le mal côté point Yolio on le mal côté on met dans le sortant des concerne toute nos communautés on pourra goumer pour eux et donc c'est très important et pour parler avec moun yo on met ou pas intimider yo ou mettre à l'aise avec yo pour moun yo pas intimider pour et dit congressman ou bien docteur Moïse ça ne relève là il y a tel petit problème il y a tel bagaille et puis on l'autre bagaille qui est important tout dans pile maman papa qui t'a mis petit moun à l'école militaire que c'est l'en Air Force que c'est l'en l'école ça c'est l'école qui est prestigieux on l'aide de congressman on met cap pousser petit moun ça qui ka fait on accepter l'école ça comprendre donc pas mais plus haïtien aller dans Air Force Academy ou bien à l'autre université militaire parce que gagne bonne éducation puis moun l'open graduate tout on met il y a dans plusieurs l'autre côté on met côté au café plus parce que comme nous l'âge l'a monté faut que nous dire moun qui ka remplacer nos pieds devant qui ka arriver plus haut passer nous tout comprendre qu'on connait là pas comme ça bon haïtien qui fait nommé shérif New York mes amis sont coquine position oui shérif New York City haïtien c'est une fierté pour nous, c'est pas pour nous arriver, moun pas nous connaît là, qui veut le congrès États-Unis, comme haïtien.
Merci, Dr. Moïse. Son plaisir pour te là avec nous à soir. Bon punch number and your website.
Dans mes bon punch number, moi, c'est numéro 34. Et website, c'est moiseforcongress.com. Et me dit nous que position ça, son position qui non seulement cap bon pour district là, mais li bon pour futur Haïti tout. Parce que pays ça, li comme ça Venezuela, il connaît là la sur Cuba et puis devant par Haïti. Si nous pas gain un monde qui qualifié, un Haitien-Américain qui chita sous chaise Washington connaît là, qu'on a discuté Haïti, vous comprenez? Donc, il pas bon pour nous. Nous besoin, mes amis, nous besoin yon Haitian-American in Congress. Tout l'autre monde candidat yo bon monde, d'accord avec nous. Mais seulement, nous besoin pas nous. Besoin de respect, faut que respecte haïtien. Si pas nous dit que nous manger chicken, nous manger chat. Faut que nous garder nous l'autre gens pour y aller les amis.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Moïse. N'a dit tout le monde rete branché for Dr. Moïse campaign ad.
Pied bœuf pour pied bœuf. N'a prend le cahier pratique. 18 da ou k'ap vin là dans district 24 là pour congrès.
Ensemble, nous parlons Washington.
Oui, c'est nous Haitiens-Américains à 4 de vote nous qui pral mettre moun pa nous botable là qui c'est docteur Rudolph Moïse. Yon nan nous Cabrit Tomaso même pli maya que nous. Ou dit Moïse, c'est un leader civique sans pareil. Rivel nan Grand Caille, atterri Washington, problème immigration nous c'est une nan priorité. Donc là, c'est un père de famille responsable, un médecin expérimenté qui diplômé dans business administration, un avocat colonel dans Air Force Reserve, puis faut activité clinique ou dit Moïse, c'est dans quelle communauté alliée oui, cap servi nous depuis plus passé 40 récoltes café. Dernière fois pour nous dégager chez ça, chaudière division te bouilli dans mi nous. Fois ça communauté a dit ça t'est passé dans veille là, pas passé dans enterrement. Jodia, c'est nous tout pour une numéro 34 pour nous taguer docteur Moïse qui soutient nos entrailles nous et puis pour t'a dit pour nous voter des autres. Yo t'a ri nous lever bâton, nous fondre la même division, tout vote convergé depuis absenti ballot, voter bonnet et mardi 18 daoua, punche numéro 34 ou dit Moïse congressman district 24 tête droite pour Washington.
Non, c'est Rudy Moïse, candidat pour congrès, il m'a prouvé le message ça.
Okay, thank you so very much. At this time, we have our next candidate who's running for Congress, Miss Brown. She has been very patient, came in very early, and we would love for you to bring her on the screen now. Miss Brown, can you please put on your camera? Okay.
Sorry.
If she's not ready. Okay, hi, how are you?
Can
Welcome,
you hear me?
Ms. Brown, how are you?
Hi, I'm okay. How are you?
First and foremost, thank you so much for your patience. You were one of the first people who checked in, but obviously with people's conflict and schedule, so we had to move things around. We
No
want to say
problem.
thank you. Thank you for being so graceful.
Yes, we'll have to do this when we're in Congress, right? You have to wait, filibuster, and all that good stuff, so it's fine.
Excellent. Well, listen, Mayona, tell us about Mayona before we get into the candidate.
Sure. So my name is Tamayana Brown, and I'm born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. And I actually came to Florida about 10 years ago. And I've been back and forth from Illinois to Florida for quite some time. My ex-husband and I had purchased some land and a loft here in Florida. But I'm a homeschool mom. I'm actually a mother of 5. I have my older children married and gone on about their business. And then I have my 15-year-old and then I have a 6-year-old. I am divorced and I am a public servant. I am a people's person, people over politics every day, all day. I have been called to serve. Most of all, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a real estate developer. I'm a former educator. I am a community builder. And also, above all those things, I am a God-fearing woman. So I'm just like you guys, understanding the everyday struggle as we decide on who we decide to put in office and which way we need to go to make sure we make this district affordable again.
Thank you so very much. Why Congress? Why are you running for Congress?
So I can say plenty of things when it comes down to Congress, but one of the main things, I sit here as a grieving parent in 2015 when Obama told us that we had to either pick a plan, and I want people to know this because it wasn't really out there, but we had to actually pick a plan for our healthcare services or we would be fined. And it was unfortunately that my senior mother was actually fined and she's still paying money on that bill every month right now from 2015. And my son passed away. So I sit here as a grieving parent. He was 13 years old. He was playing sports with his friends. And because of the inferior care, I had to choose a care that was not it wasn't for us. But so I wouldn't be fined. And because they only gave us, certain alternative, my son was misdiagnosed with a heart condition called myocarditis. And he fell on the court, and he never woke back up. He was 13 years old, honor roll student, very athletic, Duke University, gave us a tribute. He was already, he was a good kid, and he was a gift. And that day, I knew then, when my son was misdiagnosed, because I got a autopsy done, and when the pathologist came back and explained to me exactly what the issue was, of course I was upset. But I understand that, with all things, we have to give God the glory. And I just thank God for the 13 years that I had for him. And I knew after that, I just couldn't sit on the sidelines anymore. So I started working with the American Heart Association and just started doing different things with government. And I just couldn't sit back anymore. And my job and my duty as not just a servant to the people, but a servant to the kingdom, that I have to go forth and tell my people the truth. And I want all of my people to know, especially in this district, what we are up against, and bringing real solutions to the issues that are at hand.
Thank you very much, and our deepest condolences to you and your entire family.
Oh, thank you.
At this time, we're going to go with Dr. Metsue, who will proceed with the next series of questions.
Thank you.
Ms. Brown, my sympathy to you.
Thank you, sir.
I lost last year my 22-year-old son.
Oh,
so
I'm sorry.
I'm in a position to share your heart condition.
Thank you,
and
sir.
That goes to healthcare.
Yeah.
As a member of Congress, federal policy directly shape healthcare access, Social Security and Medicare, and the cost of living for families in the district. So what specific legislation or budget priorities would you pursue in your first term to address the economic pressure and healthcare access to South Florida families?
Well, us here in South Florida, the first thing we need to do is we need to push for we really need to push that for us to be able to choose our physicians. And we need to make sure that we have some type of permanent solution instead of going back and forth with this extension when it comes down to subsidies. We need to be transparent. We need to make these hospitals, post what, their price is. And we need to make sure that we ourselves, we the people, are able to pick our own doctors. We cannot continue to allow the government to choose our caregivers for us. We can't keep doing that, because like I said, and this is very personal to me, that when you do not have the ability to choose what's needed for pre-existing conditions, and they're just giving you, here's 5 people, you need to pick from these 5 people, we can't continue to allow that. So we're going to have to change some things to make things permanent and stop all of this temporary, all of these extensions. It's not working for us. It's not working for us. And in order for that to happen, myself, if elected, we're going to have to go in as a community, and we're going to have to come together, Haitian-American, all type the American citizens. We're going to have to come together to see exactly what's going to be needed in order for us to go forth to make sure that healthcare is secure.
Different note, as an immigration lawyer, members of Congress can directly shape immigration law, including the future of TPS for Haitian nationals. Okay. What specific policy legislation would you introduce or support to provide a permanent, lasting solution for TPS holders and to strengthen the U.S.-Haiti relation?
Okay, this is near and dear, because we have Haitian communities, and since I've been boots on the ground, going from door to door, speaking to people, especially our Haitian community, and also I've spoken to some TPS holders as well, and I can literally say that I'm really upset with Congress, because when they introduced the TPS this information to this type of legislation to the TPS holders, they had no solutions. And you do not give someone a temporary solution without a permanent resolution. And I'm very upset with Congress because this has put all of the TPS holders in limbo. And it's not cool. It is not okay. So we need to stop being afraid to call out our Congress people and let them know that they did not cover our TPS holders. They did not. So I've been saying this since being at every debate that I will go in my first 100 days in Congress and I will introduce the American Responsibility Bill. And that would actually give TPS holders the ability to have their pathway to citizenship, because permanent residency, it's okay, but it's still not a long-term solution. I hear a lot of my opponents, and they are saying that, my colleagues saying that they want to do permanent residence. I was saying the same thing too. But see, in order for you to understand exactly what a person is going through, you have to actually speak to the people that's going through it. We can sit back and look at it through a lens, but not understanding exactly what's going on. So some people don't want citizenship and some people do. The ones that don't want citizenship will find a pathway for them. But, knowing that a TPS holder either have been here 5 years, that they don't owe any taxes, that they have that they are essential workers, that they have home ownership. I put myself in their position because I'm a business owner. And as a business owner, and especially an entrepreneur, if I built something in the last 15 years and then someone come and say, you know what, unfortunately, it has to be taken away. Oh no, I need to know exactly why, because this is not what we agreed to. This is not what I was thinking, and as a human being, this definitely is not right. So as I stated, just speaking to TPS holders from even from the past week or so, and speaking to the Haitian communities, the legal Haitian communities, people that's been here, we need a pathway to citizenship. That's our best bet, and we can do that. And I just want to just piggyback on what I stated, that going back to the elected Congress people that are already in office, how dare you do this to the TPS holders without allowing them, or when you have the ability to get things done, why wait till now? See, me being an entrepreneur, I deal with risk management all day, every day. So we prevent issues from happening. And I have a problem with the fact that Congress has not prevented an issue, that has not prevented this from happening to TPS holders. So that is my intake on that.
Ms. Brown, I just happen to like your label pen, so.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Ms. Brown.
Thank you.
At the end of your first term, what measurable outcomes should voters use to evaluate your performance? And what commitments are you willing to make tonight regarding transparency, accessibility, and reporting back to the Haitian-American community on your progress?
So by my end of term, the first thing I want you guys to know is that I am a person that will advocate for you. I am a person that will be boots on the ground. I'm a community builder in real life. I love speaking to people. I mean, you can hire people to go door to door, but that's not what I do. I am a person that is there. So showing up is everything to me. I want you guys to know also, and I want everyone to know that this is not just about election season where you see, and I've been there before with elected officials. You only come out when it's time for election time, right? Or you decide to give us something and we're looking for it, but we never receive it. That won't be me. I'm a person that is unafraid to give you the answer, whether I like it or not. And whether it's going to hurt me or hurt someone else, I'm still going to give the truth. Because one thing I do know is that my accountability to the Holy Spirit and to my God, who I trust, and the only person and the only spirit that I can believe in, that I know that's going to have my back, I have to do what's right. And what's right is making sure that we continue to be there for the people. So that will be me. I will be showing up for you guys. I will be a community builder. And also, I've been saying this on the campaign trail too. We need community forums because we need to hear from the people. We're up here thinking that we know the solutions for people that haven't lived experience. They don't know it. We're just assuming it. We're assuming this and we're assuming that. We cannot continue to assume that we know exactly what other communities need. And in order for us to understand that, you have to have forms, not just during election time. These are forms that's going to have to be continuously, that we're going to have to continue to go on and do this like every 6 months to see exactly what the outcome, if there has been an outcome. So we're going to have to build affordable homes. I'm a real estate developer. Also, I've been saying this on the campaign trail too. I am so invested in our district that my first 100 days in office, I am donating my salary back to the district because guess what? They don't want to invest in us. And we have to accept what's going on in our district. They will go invest in Aventura. They'll go invest in North Miami, but they don't want to come invest in us. So in order for that to happen, we have to be the one to invest in us. So I am willing to do that. And at the end of the day, I want everyone to understand that a political party is not representation. We cannot continue to try to divide ourselves between Republican and Democrat. The Republicans does not always be right, and the Democrats is not always right either. However, sometimes you have to choose. But when you go to that ballot box on November the 3rd, vote for what's right. That's going to the person that's going to bring kingdom principles back to Washington, D.C. And that person is me. My name is Tay Mayana Brown, and you can follow me on Facebook. You can go to my website at www.tbrownforflorida.com. We're looking for help. You want to join us, but most of all, we just need your prayers. That's it.
Thank you so very much, Ms. Brown. You actually gave us a little bit of why should we vote for you?
Oh,
but
okay,
I'm just going to give you 30 seconds to land that and give us your punch number, your website, and we do understand that as a Republican, your name will be on the ballot in November.
Yes. So I want to leave you guys with this. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of love and of sound mind. And at the end of the day, when you are doing what you're called to do and you know that you're fulfilling his purpose, it doesn't matter what other people say. It just, you know that you're doing what you've been called to do. And being who I am, and new leadership, new perspective, new ideas, bringing things back. And I just want to say this, I am honored with the leaders that has been on the campaign trail. I honor those guys. I really do. But let's just be real. Those career politicians that's been on here, they just have not reached us in our pockets to where we need them to be. And it's okay. It's time to pass the baton. Some have been in there 18 years, 14 years. Sometimes they don't understand that we don't have paychecks like them. We don't have access to 401ks and things like that. So understanding what we're going through as an everyday American citizen that's struggling, like if we go into the gas station, if we want to put $50 in our tank, but when we get there, it's like, wait a minute, I want to give my kid an incentive today. So I'll just put 35 in there, those type of things. So just remember that when you go to the ballot box, what they have done. Legislation is good, but is it actually helping our district? Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Ms. Brown. What's your punch number?
I don't have a punch number because I'm not in the primary.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm going
you
straight to the general. I see you guys then. Hopefully I'll see you guys on the trail though.
Thank you so very much, Ms. Brown.
Thank you.
All the very best.
All right. You guys be blessed. Have a good day.
You too. Excellent. We are going to move forward with our final candidate for tonight, and that is none other than former Commissioner Jean Monestime. Please bring him up. So how are you guys doing out there? I hope this forum was extremely educational, informative, and it's helping you to make a decision. Puis gano tan 18 août pour nous voter. Lundi, 3 août, bonheur, early voting a commencé. Nous voulons pour nous tout al voter depuis premier jour. Et si que ou pas une possibilité pour aller voter premier jour, you have a whole 2 weeks pour que ou ka assurer voix ou pour élection ça. Okay, we can bring him back on. Commissioner Monestim, if you can just bring your perfect. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so very much for your patience, sir. It has been quite an evening, and you have been very graceful, so we want to publicly say thank you. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me.
The pleasure is all ours. As I stated today, as I stated earlier, you are no stranger to us. Commissioner John Monestin, born in Haiti, he was the first Haitian-American to serve on the Miami-Dade County Commission and the first to chair it, representing Little Haiti, North Miami, and Liberty City. Welcome.
Merci, merci un pile.
So, avant de parler des candidats, on parle des gens. Qui est-ce qui Jean?
Je rentre ici à 17 ans, je fais un petit temps et dans high school dans Miami-Dade. Et puis après ça, je suis à l'école Miami-Dade. Je suis à l'école Miami-Dade, je gradué avec un degré en finance avec économie dans Florida International University, FIU. Après ça, je fais une maîtrise dans business administration dans Nova Southeastern University. Après ça, je suivi un programme dans leadership dans Harvard University. Côté je gradué avec un diplôme dans leadership. Et j'ai un petit business, c'est un père de famille, j'ai 2 petits garçons et tous 2 mariés, et puis tous 2 a fait 2 jobs dans la communauté ça, et parce qu'un seul job pas qu'à supporter. Et puis j'ai plus que 30 ans depuis m'habiter dans le district 24 côté nous là.
Dis-nous, pour qui soit couille pour congrès?
Bon, et je suis candidat pour siège ça, premièrement parce que je réalise que c'est deuxième fois que la communauté a gagné opportunité pour que les représenter tête. District 24 là, c'est district qui gagne plus haïtiens avec haïtiens et américains aux États-Unis. Aux États-Unis, c'est district ça qui gagne plus haïtiens avec haïtiens américains. Haïtien, n'importe monde qui est élu dans district ça, connaît bien que c'est haïtien avec haïtien américain qui est élu. Et communauté ça avec Haïti a obtenu un monde qui comprend dossier Haïti, souffrance que Haïti a passé depuis 222 ans d'indépendance qui peut adresser question ça à Washington. Parce que tout ce qui a fait en Haïti, il décidé Washington ou bien Washington tolérer ça qu'a fait en Haïti parce que ouais que le pas bénéficier à Haïti. Deuxièmement, nous sommes haïtiens qui étaient réfugiés ici qui pas de gain papier. On leur malgré ça grand pile temps même pas oublier côté me sorti parce que et gain moun qui te gourmand pour moi me penser son honneur qu'on y a pour songer famille ça yo amis ça yo et membre communauté ça yo qui qu'on y a là pas gain papier et puis qui en bas pression administration ça qui a parassé yo qui a battre pour forcer nous tourner nos pays côté pas même vle américain aller parce que penser gain trop menace de mort gain trop difficulté dans le pays ça c'est pays pas nous pays d'Haïti donc je pense que c'est meilleur monde qui a représenté et population haïtienne qui en forte majorité peut-être égal à tout l'autre monde qui représenté dans district ça dans Washington pour adresser particulièrement question économique là avec 2 questions que je parler là yo question immigration avec question et ça qui passe en Haïti qui a détruit Haïti depuis 222 ans.
Pour répondre ça, nous allons entrer avec Maître Surin to move forward with further questioning.
Commissioner Monestim, I have 2 questions for you. I know you kind of alluded to them, but I'll give you an opportunity to expand on it. As a member of Congress, federal policies directly shapes healthcare access, Social Security and Medicare, and even the cost of living for families in the district. So what I'm asking you, what specific federal legislation or budget priority would you pursue in your first term to address the economic pressure and healthcare access to all South Florida families?
Je vais commencer avec healthcare, là, M. Surin, merci pour l'opportunité, parce que je connais c'est un dossier qui fait toute famille peur. Parce que là, je joue un bill médical qui est viré bill dans ventio, eh bien, bill médical, ça va permettre que, eh bien, vous rentrez dans pile dette ou bien même rentrer dans pauvreté, en pile monde et même perdu caillou à cause de ça. Pour le bagage, je pense qu'il fait, c'est assurer que nous continuer expand the ACA. Obamacare là, faut prolonger li, faut permettre que assurance ça et moun yo ka gagner, gens qui yo gagner qu'on y a, et puis passer une loi tout qui pour permettre que state tant que Floride qui pas honorer subsidy que mandé pour yo payer pour contribuer pour résidents yo, eh ben nous pénaliser état ça yo qui pas supporter pour yo payer subsidies yo. Et ça c'est un bagage que nous besoin faire. Mais deuxièmement, il y a un bagage qui est plus important, c'est faire ça yo faire en Europe. Bay chaque famille incentive pour que yo kal prend soin médical dans free clinique ou bien à partir de assurance là de manière à ce que eh ben yo pas obligé à l'interner l'hôpital. Et ça veut dire il y a plusieurs années depuis que m'a fait volontariat dans Center for Haitian Studies, CHS qui sont free clinique. Eh ben ça nous réalisé et l'État pas bail en pile assistance à une clinique comme ça. Donc gon groupe de cliniques et côté moun pays qui les FQH6 yo bay l'argent et mais free clinique tant que CHS qui bail et care qui bail soin à réfugiés seulement moun qui pas gen papier faut l'état investir dans yo. Deuxièmement gen yon bagay que les medical expense tax credit que bail 7.5 pour lui. Je pense que yon bagay pour nous faire tout le niveau dans congrès, c'est à côté de 7.5 medical expense tax credit là. Pour moun qui paie assurance, c'est pour nous assurer que yo yon tax crédit et pour 15 ou bien 20% pour insurance premium si moun sa gen kob qui sorti dans poche li. Parce que grand pile famille qui paye $400-500 pour insurance premium qu'on y a, c'est pas kob que yo gen mais si yo paye dans tax, yo joue un crédit dans tax, y a ka jouer un refund le yo rempli income tax yo. Deuxièmement, yon bagay m'te mentionné en pile pendant m'a fait campagne, moi tout collègue moi mentionné le qu'on y a, c'est assurer que un programme et pour moun capacité pour la première fois, un nouveau programme qui est administré par Credit Union ou bien Community Bank à 3% intérêt pour moun capacité pour la première fois. Pour qui ça c'est pour nous assurer que moun ça parle dans marché commercial là. Si moun sa vend kay là après 3 ans ou bien après 5 ans, il besoin acheter un deuxième kay, il doit aller dans marché commercial là pour le joindre yon mortgage et dans rate qui sous market là. Troisièmement, c'est assurer que nous monter minimum wage pour salaire minimum et pour permettre à ce que moun qui a travaillé ait une augmentation alors qu'on a réduit dépenses mais cependant nous jouons une opportunité pour nous bailler augmentation tout. Et puis quatrièmement, c'est camper guerre là et puis utiliser l'argent guerre là pour nous payer pour training pour moun qui perd du job yo à cause de technologie et puis pour nous payer un paquet de moun qui c'est classe moyenne qui après 20 ans après 30 ans a payé pour student loan. Si nous fait 4 bagages ça remettre sur un, j'ai l'impression de résoudre un peu dans problème économique et puis nous permettre que famille yo aller mieux et puis ça permet tout un paquet de cas côté moun a payé 3-4 000 $ par mois, moun sa yo a ka vinn payer un mortgage moins que 3 ou bien 4 000 $ par mois avec un 3% intérêt.
Très bien. Pour changer de direction, nous sortons dans les questions économiques, nous entrons directement dans la loi. Nous connaissons un avocat immigration. Sommes concernés des situations. Côté nous connaissons le Congrès, c'est lui-même qui a autorité pour passer loi sur l'immigration, tant que pour protéger TPS pour la communauté haïtienne. So, qui genre de loi ou qu'a introduit dans le Congrès ou bien qu'a supporté pour apporter une solution permanente et durable pour la communauté, pour les gens qui ont TPS, et surtout pour établir une relation normale entre les États-Unis et Haïti.
Et merci pour la question. Et j'ai 20 ans à monter descendre Washington pour le lobby pour immigration et puis avec TPS. Mais on connaît le chita bois blanc et puis j'ai toute connaissance ça, grand pile travail que n'a pas fait. Qui t'aime dire point grand pile monde qui parlait de un pile républicain qu'on y a qui était voté pour pétition que nous qui t'a devant congrès. Mais m'a dit moun yo, c'est moi même que nous débat responsabilité pour lobby républicain ça yo parce que c'est une seule haïtiens démocrates qui te travaillent ensemble avec un pile républicain ça yo pendant que dans county commission nan, républicain tant que Carlos Jiménez, républicain tant que Maria Salazar, c'est républicain tant que Iliana Ostretlen qui parle là encore mais cependant que m'kon demandé pour m'aide dans bagay ça yo, c'est moi-même que Nyon te bail responsabilité pour lobby moun ça yo qui permettent à ce que un pile républicain vienne supporter et TPS qu'on y a. Deuxième bagage, la médecine étant qu'on avocat immigration, ou qu'on est thème nan plus bien passé, si m pas dit thème nan bien, ou à corriger, m'gon bagay qui aurait les DDE, Deferred Detention Enforcers, m'kwa yorelel, et immédiatement après l'élection ça fini, m'a commencé retourner travail avec ni démocrate qui dans congrès parce que m'kon en pile nan yo, ni républicain pour demander pour faire yo font colloque avec moi pour yo commander Trump pour bay DDI ça. Raison est parce que son démarche nous pensait que si Haïti te fait eh ben et même Jean Trump te fait pour Vénézuélien yo en 2020, yo doit dire eh ben non l'autre 6 mois, 9 mois en vont voyer moun ça retourner parce qu'on a bonne opportunité pour nous préparer pour yo en vont voyer retourner. Eh bien, on peut retourner sur le dossier ça immédiatement après 18 août, après l'élection finie, malgré de temps en temps, on va aussi appel, mais le fait que nous avons l'élection qu'on y a, eh bien, est un petit peu difficile pour que nous ayons une DDI. Deuxièmement, c'est il y a 7 ou bien 8 billes dans le Congrès déjà qui parlaient de bipartisan bill pour résidence avec citoyenneté. Je pense qu'il faut créer et route ça qui pour permettre à ce que tout le monde qui pas un papier dans le pays, incluant moun TPS entre 3 ans à 5 ans, que moun sa yo une opportunité dans nouveau bill ça qui a passé que n'a supporté ou bien que n'a amendé ou bien que n'a introduit pour moun sa rejoindre résidence et citoyenneté. Et nous voulons que dans le bill ça, que nous réduit pénalité que le conseil de bill mettait qu'on y a sur moun qui besoin d'une résidence, leur rentrer dans path to citizenship là. Parce que nous connaissons la communauté noire, par exemple, pile cop, elle déjà a souffri. Sous question haïtien, et M. Mabdou, tant que Jacques Despinos, ou connaît qui sont grandes dettes dans la question et politique dans la zone, qu'on dit, c'est mettre chien qui m'a tête chien. Ou connaît, et congresswoman qui sorti là dans le siège là, le te gon problème en Haïti, c'est moi-même qui mène en Haïti avec deux autres et congressmen républicains pour aller rencontrer avec des decision makers après Matthew pour te connaître comment pour aider pays. Raison est parce que me connais des marches ça yo pour question haïtien et pas gen moun qui va le traduire pour moi son dossier que me grand pile en pile ressources là-dedans et me penser que l'homme fin élu n'a assuré que c'est pas ni ambassade américaine qui préside dans un pays, faut assurer nous que gon moun qui a fait décision qui sorti dans entrailles pays qui a lobby administration pendant que la représenter nous pour aider faire changement qui besoin fait en Haïti.
Pour expression ça nous apprécions infiniment.
Commissioner Monestein, our final question for you. At the end, of your first term, what measurable outcomes should voters use to evaluate your performance? And what commitments are you willing to make tonight regarding transparency, accessibility, and reporting back to the Haitian-American community on your progress?
Et bon, opportunité pour me dire exactement ça me qu'on fait dans County Commission. Premièrement, dans County Commission dans l'homme là, me qu'on un forum public dans différents quartiers dans district et quel que soit dans Melrose ou bien c'est dans Liberty City ou bien dans notre Miami, on fait chaque 6 mois. Nous faisons gros roumblé, nous rencontrons plusieurs monde. Il y a un forum qu'on fait dans Turner Tech, il y a un forum fait dans notre Miami High School, il y a un forum fait dans Miami Edison High School, il y a un forum fait dans centre communautaire. Donc ça c'est un bagage côté que moun yo toujours rencontrer, l'aéroport dans l'église ou bien nous fonctionne en communauté. Deuxième bagage que nous toujours fait, nous qu'on fait et un open door avec commissionnaire les jeudis dans le bureau. Donc son bagage que nous pensons nous pral continuer parce que dans monde qui élu yo, le monde nan fin élu en pile fois priorité moun ça changer. Ou toute promesse qu'a fait là yo, en pile nan promesse ça yo, c'est pendant élection. Mais cependant, priorité a changé. Et moi-même, nous sommes gens qui sont dedans communauté là, tout le monde connaît côté pour rejoindre moi depuis 40 ans que là, ou bien plus que 40 ans. Et n'a fait samedi là et en journée côté moun qui vient commissionnaire pas avec staff li ouais et puis journée ça c'est n'importe moun pas besoin rendez-vous depuis moun nan gen temps que le cas mettez dans la liste là puis il rete temps a vinn parler avec congressmen dans le ça c'est pas avec staff li la parler. Troisièmement, il y a pas gars demander qui mange au bol. Moi m'a pas assuré que si Jean mon estime vinn congressmen après 2 ans m'assurer nous a fait de bagaille que c'est ambassade américaine qui a fait toute décision dans le pays comme président pays ça a fini. Ça a fini parce que c'est pas monde qui va le traduire pour moi pour dire ça fait mais cependant me connaît déjà me connaît player yo en action et nous connaît comment pour nous tacler ici ça parce que grand pile famille qui a souffert ici si pays en bon yo t'a tourné déjà et faut que nous assurer qu'un investissement qui est étranger qui fait dans le pays pour États-Unis businessmen États-Unis investir en dedans pays et puis faciliter les amis d'Haïti pour investir dans le pays pour moun qui pas veulent venir ici pour pas obligé risquer la vie pour venir ici.
Cool. Merci beaucoup, Commissioner. At this time, you have 1 minute to tell the Haitian American community why should we vote for Jean Monestime.
Mais ça qu'on fait pour voter pour Jean Monestime. Jean Monestime, c'est le seul candidat qui gagnait et 2 plus gros élections dans la communauté parce que li on site, li gagnait sur un incumbent, on qui était en place là déjà. L'homme bin city councilman pour la première fois, c'est monsieur Duxoré qui était dans le siège là, comme dans le candidat et puis c'est moi qui gagné. Deuxièmement, et l'homme bin county commissioner c'est Doreen Wall qui était dans place là, min candidat côté tout le monde pensait nous pas grand chance, nous gagné. Yo tellement pensé c'était bizarre, Doreen Wall tourné 3 fois et nous gagné tous les 3 fois ça yo parce que communauté ça connaît côté cœur nouillé, nous pas venir faire politique pour belle pantalon, nous venir faire politique pour servir communautaire. En parlant de servir communautaire, c'est grand pile promesse qui était faite avant Jean Monestime bin commissionnaire pour nous te gagner et community center, pour nous te gagner un hôtel, pour nous te gagner un transit station, pour nous te gagner des lois qui passaient qui aidaient nous. Mais cependant tout bagaille ça yo vinn fait les Jean Monestime vinn commissionnaire. Nous bâti en pile centre communautaire tant que Fada Jean Juste, tant que Akol Alex, nous bail l'argent à Little Haiti Housing, $2 millions pour faire housing qui pas dans district nous bail $2 millions à Haitian-American Chamber of Commerce pour faire scholarship, nous fait et tenants bills of right. Te gon vieux building dans communauté en 79 qui t'a fin pourri côté et ben homeless t'a dormi, nous fait le tourner en hôtel, c'est là-dedans que Double Tree qu'on y a. Nous porter près de $126 millions pour retirer famille qui gagne dans ces petits tanks pour yo mettre et mais sous tout près la caillou pour leur besoin connecter pour yo ka connecter. Grand pile en pilote bagaille nous fait encore dans communauté c'est nous même qui est débattu de Golden Glades Transit Station côté qu'on y a son moun ap tan bus li ka fait ça dans air conditionné parce que nous connait pile monde qui te connait mourir dans la pluie tout bagaille qui te promet avant Jean Monestime des commissionnaires et me dit nous grand pile monde qui gen bon cœur qui veut aider nous qui candidat qu'on y a mais cependant l'œil au fin élu priorité a changé et priorité Jean Monestime a toujours été même ça que ayant sous pas quoi moi à regarder de chairman for prosperity initiative que m'te créé l'homme te chairman dans county commission que jusqu'à présent Daniela Kava qui sa magistrat a implémenté parce que c'est moi-même qui t'ai créé Bishop Miami-Dade qui ba assistance à ti business Scale Up 305 que jusqu'à présent cap train ti business dans notre Miami avec dans zone Boïsia.
Merci, Commissioner. Thank you so very much. S'il vous plaît, nous punch number et website.
Et website moi c'est jeanmonestimeforcongrès.com et touch number moi c'est numéro 35 sous Miami-Dade. Sous number Award ou juste chercher non moins parce que district sorti depuis downtown Miami arrivé jusqu'à Johnson Street et puis sorti sous Biscayne Boulevard arrivé jusqu'à 57e avenue. C'est seule opportunité mon n'a dans congrès là aller c'est là où veut mourir pas veut sortir. Si nous songez bien, l'homme vient premier commissionnaire m'assurer que nous avons deuxième qui semble avec nous. Et ça faut que Malène Bassin qu'on y a. OK? Parce que moi-même par la grâce de Dieu, c'est porte yo voye m'vinn ouvrir, yo pas voye m'vinn fermer porte. Mais cependant, quand pile menace qu'on y a pour c'est pas nous-mêmes qui joignent ça. Mais par la grâce de Dieu, n'a continuer combattre parce que fort communauté nous qui c'est plus gros district dans tout pays ça, presque plus que 45% et voteurs dans district ça, c'est haïtien que eux. Si haïtien sorti voter, il y a des congressmen par eux.
Merci, Commissioner Jean Monestime. It was a pleasure to have you. All the best.
Merci. Thank you so much. Merci, Ampil.
Bon, Metsurin, what a forum.
Voter gen nan men yo.
Wow. So as we wrap out, nous voulons que pour nous connaître à qui est nous te rencontré jeudi a. Et pour tout le monde qui est branché, jeudi a c'est pas le premier jour. Nous te fait forum, nous te gon forum hier soir côté que nous te gagné Yanef Del Carmen Baez k'ap koui pour juge Miami-Dade Circuit Court Judge. Nous gen Bonita Jones Peabody et nous te gagné Mavel Ruiz qui sous bench là at this moment lap koui pour re-election. Ensuite, nous te gagné State Representative for District 108. Nous te gagné Dina Escama qui était confirmé, qui était présent. Nous avons Juancito Francis qui était présent. Et nous avons gagné Peter Walsh qui était présent. Et nous avons gagné une seule femme haïtienne Cap Kouri pour Sénat, District 34, Christine Sanon-Jules Olivo qui était présent. À soir, nous avons gagné une liste de 10 candidats pour congrès. Mais nous avons commencé à 3 juges. Nous avons commencé à Maribel Diaz, Cap Kouri pour Miami-Dade County Court Judge. Après ça, nous avons gagné Yenli Dominguez and Arthur McNeil, both running for Miami-Dade Circuit Court Judge. Nous te gagné pour U.S. Representative Tay Mayona Brown, ok, qui te dit nous que lycée républicain n'a pas sous ballot là en novembre. Ensuite, pour primary démocrate là, nous te gagné Marshall L. Davis Sr., nous te gagné Oliver Gilbert III, current commissioner. Nous te gagné current state senator Chevron Jones qui quitte place là et cap kouri pour congrès. Ensuite, nous te gagné Kendrick Meek qui te parlé avec nous à soir. Nous gagné Dr. Rudolph Moïse et nous gagné Jean Monestime qui te présenté. Nous avons Roderick Vereen, qui c'est un avocat in Miami-Dade County, or in the state of Florida, we can say. He is a criminal defense and civil rights attorney admitted to the Florida bar in 1990. He is making his first run for federal office. Roderick Vereen te confirmé, mais li pat ka vini parce que li genyen yon kes qui très important faut que li te réuni pour li et préparé pour li. Donc li voye excuse li sak fait li pat kala. So we have attorney Roderick Vereen, who was confirmed for tonight, but as we know, he is an attorney and he has a very delicate case that he's dealing with right now. And unfortunately, he could not be present. That is all our candidates for this forum cycle. Obviously, we know there are so many other candidates, but with time, we're not able to sit down with all of them. But we hope that the ones that we brought to you between yesterday and today, you have the ability to make the right decision and to choose the right representative for the Haitian-American community. Metsue?
Bon, m'kwe c'était un bel exercice l'été. Bon, surtout dans candidat pour juge, souvent communauté par contre qui est, m'kwe séance ça a aidé en pile pour déterminer qui est dans juge pour yo voter pour yo voter. Mais dans congrès a côté gon bon en paquet candidat te gen en pile information te propagé pour yo te déterminer qui est yo t'a choisi pour aller représenter yo. Je souhaite forum ça te aider en pile pour yo te faire bon choix. So nous dit merci à vous même qui t'est assuré programme ça te fait là BL Consulting parce que sans lui-même communauté a tap nan fait noir surtout avec télévision nous dans channel 18-19 Télépam qui assure 18 et 10 bien sûr pour assurer retransmission ça pour te rentrer la caille nous frère accès nous yo exercer droit vote nous voter pour changement pour communauté nous.
Encore merci beaucoup. C'est un plaisir pour nous entrer la caillou. Monsieur, mon petit surprise pour vous, va vrai? On est depuis 2020 nous là. On monte mettre sur 2-3 flyers pour le travail qui était fait depuis 2022. Bon, on me dit depuis 2020 et continue jusqu'à aujourd'hui. Encore nous dit Dr. Vanessa Pierre et Sandra Saint-Hilaire, Anthony Bonami, merci beaucoup parce que nous avons fait travail là ensemble. Nous connaissons nos moments ça, position nous, pas nous possibilité pour nous continuer travail là. Mais merci, chapeau bas. Merci beaucoup.
Vous connaissez ça que macabre dans bail ça, c'est le fait que tu fait pendant Covid, là toute bagaille était fermée, moi pas j'aime suspendre travail. Gardons femme. Bonne bienvenue.
Thank you, monsieur. Et nous voulons dire peuple là, nous pas fait ça parce que nous pi bon, nous pas fait li parce que c'est nous seuls qui a fait li. Mais nous remet consistance. C'est très important le gain campagne que nous représenter comme communauté. Nous pas qu'à quitter c'est l'autre monde qui a parlé pour nous. Nous pas qu'à quitter c'est l'autre monde qui a demandé candidat question pour nous parce que nous gain problème. And our issues are very deep. Et c'est pas toute l'autre culture qui a même problème avec nous. Donc, là que moun nan vle représenter, non seulement faut qu'on qui est souye, faut qu'on koto sorti, faut qu'on qui bo vle aller. Aswea, nous chita avec yo. Si que yo vin élu, yo pas représenter communauté haïtienne, moi-même avec Maître Surin, avec tout l'autre leader dans la communauté, nous ka mette yo chita et puis pour nous dire c'est pas ça te dit nous. OK, mais qui ça nous besoin, qui j'on ka délivrer pour nous. Donc, ce travail ça n'a fait, n'a continué faire tout autant que bon Dieu ba nous force, courage. Encore merci avec Team Télépam. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Tonight was amazing. And we really ask God to bless this channel, to bless the work of your hands, and to continue to expand Télépam and Télépam Studios. Have a good night.
Today's conversations will challenge us to think bigger, lead stronger, and pursue our goals with greater confidence.
Our hope is that you leave today with more than notes.
Progress has always been driven by courageous people willing to stand together.
We are not a footnote in someone else's story. You are the headline.
In 2021, I didn't realize that my own city did not have a commission for women. And so I made sure that I sponsored an ordinance, and with the support of my colleagues, in 2021, I think it was 97 years of North Miami existing, we finally had a women commission. And so I'm very...
And if you do it knowing that there is another side to the story, you have to be willing to listen to. So your voice matters, but so does someone else's.
We know that women have always led. Sometimes they've led from behind. They say behind every powerful man, there's a powerful woman, right? That's an expression we've all heard. Well, you know what, ladies? We don't have to hide anymore.
We educate. We pour into one another. We encourage. We empower one another. We support one another.
And if you learn how to show up for yourself,
Amen.
confident, resolute, and positioned to get it done, that will literally set the stage for every other woman, boy, child, man that you will come in contact with that would need you to fight for them. Start with yourself first.
You know, you decide how you want to show up. And I mean, you show up that same way, with that same intensity, that same intentionality every day. You have to decide how you're going to show up each and every day. Be your best self, your best authentic self, each and every day.
I feel a lot of love in this room. Love of expression, love of reaffirmation of who we are as individuals and as collective impact instigators.
Everything we can dream, we can become as long as we work hard and persevere and ask for God's help.
But I would tell her, you know, it works out. Keep the course. Keep working hard. The money's gonna come. The roles are gonna come. The positions are gonna come. The acknowledgments are gonna come.
Because when women are empowered, communities thrive, families flourish, businesses grow.
Some of the most beautiful initiatives I have been fortunate to be a part of were not built on grand budgets or even grand resources. They were built by women sitting around a table, talking about problems, sharing stories, figuring out their resources, opening doors for one another, and asking one simple question: how can
He's one of our own. He shows up. He understands this community. He stands for us.
I was born and raised in Miami Gardens. This community made me. From the teachers who believed in me to the neighbors who looked out for me and taught me what commitment and service really means. I left home to attend Florida A&M University, but I never forgot where I came from. Because no matter where life takes you, home is still home. And right now here at home, too many families are struggling. Groceries and gas costs keep rising. Rent is too high. Healthcare bills are literally bankrupting families. People are working harder than ever, but still falling behind. Politicians in Washington don't see us. They're more focused on themselves and their wealthy donors. Our community deserves someone who understands our struggle, shares our value, and wakes up every day focused on lowering costs and creating opportunity for working families. That's why I've always fought for this community. It's why I was proud to fight alongside Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, and it's why I've decided to run for Congress. In the State House and Senate, I took on MAGA extremists in Tallahassee. I stood up to Trump when he tried to line his pockets with our money.
Chevron is the next generation of leadership.
Chev is a fighter. No more choosing between the doctor and paying the light bill, and an end to the attacks on our rights and our neighbors living in fear. That's what we're fighting for, and together, we'll win. Because it's a new day, and the future is ours to build.
Bon leader pas nan parlant pile. Christine Sanon-Jules délivré sans blablabla. Christine comprend communauté a besoin de travail, qu'on ça li mette ensemble avec papa Thomas Sanon-Jules pour créer des centaines de travail poussé ak frère nous à travers d'éco-sécurité. Ça son bon bagay. Dans position Christine te gen comme professeur sciences mathématiques ak de la jeunesse, Christine te servi comme rôle modèle et elle te bayo tout ça yo te besoin pour yo gen succès dans la vie. Chapeau bas Christine. Christine va jamais marchand de service li pour la représenter communauté dans l'élection. C'est comme ça, li te fait l'histoire comme premier femme haïtien-américaine dans côté d'aide qui te recevoir plus que 58 000 votes pour la représenter communauté dans le Congrès des États-Unis. Bravo Christine! À la belle, ça après la belle, les Christine campent dans chambre Sénat, même Jean avec Suzanne Sanit Belair pour la défendre communauté. Qui ça on dit sous ça Christine?
Moi c'est Christine Sananjou. Moi pas mettre toute force moi de pour me défendre citoyens district 34. Ensemble, n'a pas famille Jarret pour yo vin pijam. Bâtir une communauté à plus sécurité et assurer tout le monde joindre opportunité.
Mais l'idée communauté a cherché à commencer soit senti ballot voter bonnet à jouer élection, n'a voté, n'a piqué, n'a punché numéro 98 pour mettre Christine Sanon-Jules sénateur.
I was paid and approved by Christine for state senator.
Dans combien de temps ça va changer?
Oliver Gilbert, c'est une nanoui. En pile haïtien relève Olivier Gilbert tellement connecté avec nous. Premier madame, c'est haïtien, oui. Ça veut dire, petite li Olivier Gilbert 4, c'est haïtien tout. Chaque cabinet Oliver Gilbert, c'est Hakim Brutus, petite maître Philippe Brutus. Et assistant, c'est Sandra Pierre-Paul. Qui plus belle, senior conseiller exécutif Oliver Gilbert, c'est Teresa Terilus, c'est une nanou. C'est Oliver Gilbert, oui, qui encourageait et supportait Linda Julien pour le premier haïtien qui élu dans Miami Garden. Tout l'autre jour là, il était porté derrière élection député Wallace Aristide. À la yo, bon partenaire communauté a gagné. Les autres ont dit Miami Garden, c'est celle boutique porno avec machin tapia qui là. Oliver Gilbert transformé en plus gros centre attraction dans le Floride là. Football Miami Dolphins, Miami Hurricane, Miami Open dans tennis, Formula 1 dans course machine, concert jazz in the garden. Comme commissionnaire avec Sherman Dade County, Oliver Gilbert balancé budget dans 2 temps. Il aide commissionnaire Marlène Bastien débloquer 5 millions de dollars chaque année pour Sierra North Miami. Il encourager FIFA porter mondial là dans quelle communauté a. Choix clair, communauté a besoin d'un monde qui compte bataille pour représenter dans Washington. Nous pas choisir monde ni pour bel pantalon ni pour belle parole. Nous avons choisi Olivier Gilbert parce que nous connaissons Olivier a délivré. Votez piqué punch numéro 31 pour Oliver Gilbert, député district 24. American Made Comité Action Politique approuvé et payé pour message ça.
Même à ton Moïse là. Pied bœuf pour pied bœuf. N'a prend le cahier pratique. 18 da ou k'ap vin là dans district 24 là pour congrès.
Ensemble, nous parlons Washington.
Oui, c'est nous Haitiens-Américains à 4 de vote nous qui pral mettre moun pa nous portable là qui c'est docteur Rudolph Moïse. Yon nan nous Cabrit Tomaso même pli maya que nous. Ou dit Moïse, c'est un leader civique sans pareil. Rivel nan grand caille, atterri Washington, problème immigration nous c'est une nan priorité. Donc là, c'est un père de famille responsable, un médecin expérimenté qui diplômé dans business administration, un avocat colonel dans Air Force Reserve, puis faut activité clinique ou dit Moïse, c'est dans quelle communauté alliée oui, qui a servi nous depuis plus passé 40 récoltes café. Dernière fois pour nous dégager chez ça, chaudière division te bouilli dans mi-temps nous. Fois ça, communauté a dit ça t'est passé dans veille là, pas passé dans démon. Jodi c'est nous tout pour une numéro 34 pour nous taguer docteur Moïse qui saute dans les entrailles nous et puis pour t'a dit nous pour nous voter les autres yo t'a ri nous lever bâton nous fondre la même division tout vote convergé depuis absenti ballot voter bonnet et mardi 18 daoua punché numéro 34 ou dit Moïse congressman district 24 tête droite pour Washington.
Non c'est Woody Moïse candidat pour congrès m'a prouvé message ça.
I was born and raised right here in Dade County. See, I didn't come to this community, I came from it. 6 years ago, I said that this district deserved better, and I still believe that. I actually believe that now more than ever before. Because gas didn't get cheaper, jobs didn't get easier, rent didn't stop rising. They told us to be patient, we were patient, and still our families are being priced out of the homes we built. I'm not a newcomer to the struggle. I was raised in it. I was shaped by it. So when I say I've been on the ground with the people, I'm not talking about campaign stops. I'm talking about my neighbors, my family, myself. These are unprecedented times. That means the old playbook is done. The safe choices are done. The wait your turn politics, done. I'm not running for this district. I am this district. And I'm asking you to stand with me because change doesn't just start in Washington, D.C. It starts with us. It starts right here. Change starts now.
Paid and approved by Christine Shannon Jules, Democrat for Florida State Senate.